Previously on the wilds of Valandiir, the Crown Collectors, having finally severed yourselves from this blood debt you had with the Onyx Order, the High Inquisitors of the Empire, pretty much the team of Darth Vaders that are intent on making you all as subjugative and miserable. You finally freed yourself from their clutches. Handing in the heads of the breakers, you cleared your name. The deadly mark on your neck, the brand of the logo of the Onyx Order, seemingly dissipated, both magically, physically. It's now a mere memory that you'd all like to put behind you. You actually had some time afterwards, before the anticipated unraveling the next morning, to do some day shopping. You visited a friend of a halfling wizard named Valdemar, and purchased a number of items. A staff, Sazros a schnazzy new cloak, as well as Baranor, a cloak of elven kind. Maven got some punching gloves. Everybody got a little something. Koza got some potions. Atgierr stole some potions. So, as you stand at the entrance of Waldemar's magical emporium of goods and sundries, it is your day. It is your evening. What would you all like to do?
Do you say we just hightail it back on home, or get ourselves a nice meal here at the Capitol and then head on?
I mean, we can do any of that, really. Very much very just next way. I mean, he would also like to do some. We could go to some other place on.
You stand right now in the market district of the capital. The capital, as we all have experienced, is huge. It is a giant metropolis. There are 40-foot byways and highways where the center of these thoroughfares are occupied by carriages, carts. There's like running lizards with mounted knights and other people just like that have either hired or own these exotic animals that are carrying them around the city through the center of these thoroughfares. The edges are packed with pedestrians. This tent, it's not even a tent, I believe it was like a white marble pyramid, stands pretty high amongst the other structures surrounding it, but it's a lot of like upper crusty stuff right here. Magic is expensive, as we've all come to understand, and there are no blacksmiths here. You'd have to travel further east along the river to find a place to find blacksmiths and tailors and armor smiths. Like craftsmen are over there.
Yeah, we really don't have that kind of time.
Oh, okay.
We got to get to the church on time.
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
So I was saying, we could at least try to find a nice place to eat, to celebrate this monumentous occasion, or we could do that in Dainne.
Yeah.
I would say Dainne first.
All right.
We have to be there.
Yeah. We can always come back.
Yeah, we know where it is. We can come back.
It is about midday, and you all know that the unraveling is taking place in like the early evening time frame, like 3, 4.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that'll get. We'll head back. Give us a little bit of time to settle back into Dainne, and then can focus up for his
big day.
Yes.
All right. So we'll make our way back to the transportation center, or teleportation center.
All right. It's a pretty packed, busy time of day, and the building reflects that. It is a lot of foot traffic in and out. You guys are going to end up having to wait about 10 minutes to get to a teleportation circle that's going to be available to Dainne. But you eventually get there. It's 10 minutes. Does anybody want to do anything while you're waiting?
I'm going to store 3 levels of spells to my new staff.
Okay.
I don't think I can attune to stuff in that short a time, but
Nope, you need an hour.
yeah.
Oh, just for the record, Joe, that Cobalt dagger, or actually more short sword, Maven has that.
Yes.
The Cobalt dagger, it is a short sword. It has damage of a short sword, but you can treat it as a dagger. It's kind of in between.
Yeah. So,
Maven
It has that weapon. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
I still also have that light crossbow, that +1 crossbow, if anybody wants that.
All right. So it's 350 to get back to Dainne. Let's say go ahead and roll just a general intelligence check.
16.
16. So you've kind of been getting the feeling around town that your name has kind of been drugged through the dirt just a little bit because of your static with the Onyx Order and the fact that there are certain people that you've conflicted with recently that perhaps has some pull to make things a bit of a nuisance. So paying $350 seems high for a return trip on pretty much the same day. You're quite convinced there's people usually get a discount if they're returning the same day. It's just something that strikes you as odd about the price.
Am I able to pick up on this from him, that the sense of something is wrong?
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight.
It's a negatory. Unless it was really easy.
It's just kind of he's looking generally kind of confused and frustrated at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sure if it's just exhaustion of the whole day, but something about seems something off.
Okay, so I'll
Sure
just
what it
inquire to him. It's like, is everything okay?
Yeah, it's just, the prices of this stuff is out of control.
Okay.
It shouldn't be this expensive. Back in my day, magic circles cost 1 nickel.
Okay.
You had to walk uphill both ways.
All right. So let me see if I can try to talk to the person that's giving us the price. Just talking about like, come on, this is a same day travel. We're not asking for anything too terribly much. Cut us some slack here.
All right. Go ahead and make a persuasion check, Mr. Should I call you? I'm going to call you Sazaros for now.
Right. I have it. 28.
I mean, you catch him in like I'm caught. I feel a little guilty. Maybe this wasn't my idea. Something like that. And yeah, you're gonna have him knock 150 off.
All right, so down to 200.
200 gold for the 8 of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And as this happens, as you guys are all kind of gathering, Atgierr is going to pull Sazaros and and pretty much everybody but Baranor and Maven. He kind of pull you three aside and said, "Listen, chaps, me and the missus are we're gonna be moving on when we get back. Just want you to know that whatever you're up to, we're gonna have to say goodbye when we get back to Dainne." And he kind of crashes the 3 of your shoulders, and then he walks up to Baranor and Maven and just kind of gives you a respectful nod, and you all step to the circle.
Damn.
And let's move everybody here.
Before we get going, I find a little empty pouch and I give it to Barry. in case he pukes again.
Oh, yeah.
The glyphs climb up, the glowing glyphs climb up the walls, and poof, you guys are instantly transported. Baranor, your stomach turns, but you're okay. Once you've experienced this for the first time, it pretty much sets your body so that it doesn't have to endure such violent constitutional challenges. So you don't puke.
Got it. I still didn't enjoy the experience.
It's not fun being ripped apart on the atomic level and rematerialized hundreds, if not thousands of miles away.
Dr. McCoy had it right.
Yeah.
But there you are. You're in the certainly less metropolis-style busy, but still bustling with people coming in and out of the transportation circle room, which is one of, I think, 6, whereas the capital had floors of them.
All right.
A little tiny bit warmer. It's about, feeling like it's about 68 degrees outside. And the bundling up that you felt yourself doing as Haven's Crest was a bit farther north, you feel a little more relaxed, a little more comfortable in Dainne.
Definitely still a city, but not as big a city for the first taste.
All right, we're back. The unraveling is today or tomorrow?
It is this evening.
This evening. Okay.
Like a couple hours.
Okay. Well, let's make our way back to the Hargrove estate to get ourselves cleaned up and refreshed.
Sure.
Taking a meal.
Yeah. Let's have everybody go ahead and make a group-wide perception check. As you kind of make your way back on foot, a good 20-minute jaunt across the city.
Perception check, you said?
Yeah, please.
Right.
24.
It's a watchful security guard.
That's
Always.
a 6
I rolled
for Koza.
Koza is looking at his feet.
Butterflies.
Koza, you seem a little distracted. And what Maven notices, and let's see, where is everybody else at? What did Yuno get? Let's see. Sazros, you're kind of you're a little distracted too because you know a wedding's coming up, and since you're not really taking part in the unraveling, you're kind of thinking about wedding. How do I spin that to my advantage? Baranor, Maven, and some of the other more perceptive members of the group, high natural awareness. You do notice that people are kind of recognizing you a little bit. Not in a get 'em kind of a way, but in a, oh, hey, aren't they the whatever? And they're just kind of people muttering to themselves. It's not everybody. It's maybe like every 10 or 15 people that pass. Somebody looks up at you and they're like, something about you looks familiar, or I definitely know who they are, but I don't know what from. That kind of stuff.
All right.
Wayne?
Okay. Walk.
Hargrove Estate comes to you eventually. You get on foot. About 20 minutes later.
Hey, whoa. Yeah, it is on foot. I'm sorry, because we got back from high school. Okay. I was like, where'd our horses go? Oh, yeah, they're in the stable.
You can grab them if you wish. But making your way down the Hargrove Estate Drive, find yourselves kind of not bumping into people, but crossing your paths you've never seen before, never seen here. They have darker clothing. They have more sullen appearances in the faces, dark makeup, things like that. They wield curved weapons of make that you've never seen before, and their armor has a style and a manufacturing kind of signature between all of them that is definitely foreign to you. You're not exactly sure where these were made, or you've never seen kind of the design. They're not super glitzy or fancy. They just have a different style to them. And just people with exotic looks, dark skin, bright white hair or dark black hair, and people with eye colors that you've never seen before. Purples and teal greens, and at one point you actually see a what looks like what some of you have seen or heard of as southern winter orcs that have kind of a bluish or greenish blue-green skin, and kind of like water spots, or like almost like aquatic spots on the back of their head, and green hair, kind of looks like kelp. And they've definitely brought, whoever this group is that's here, have brought a element that you guys are unfamiliar with. They seem a little, I don't want to say standoffish. They greet you as the guards have let you in, but they don't know you and you don't know them.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say these are folks of Lady Ketra's land.
Possibly.
Either that or they're getting ready for the harvest holiday a little early.
You see this group of people, along many others like it. It's probably about at least 3 dozen guests. There's also, you see a litany of guests that are quite obviously that of Sir Luther and the Hargroves. But yeah, these people kind of stare at you in a way of respect, but unfamiliarity and reserve and caution. But they do give their respectful nods as you approach.
We'll respectfully nod back as we make our way back into the home.
Yeah, Hargrove Estate late is at your pleasure.
All right. We'll ask the Major Domo to see if, first off, who are all the new house guests?
So, Falcon, the elderly head butler of Hargrove Estate, is busying himself while directing other housing staff as well as he can. He doesn't move as fast as he probably did when he was younger, but he's still in charge and he's got a commanding presence, and he just kind of turns to you and says, "Oh yes, well, Lady Kethra's retinue are going to be occupying the top floors of the mansion, so with your permission and at your pleasure, we are moving you all down to the first floor back hallway, if that's all right."
Understandable given the circumstances and Lady Kethra's station.
Very good. Thank you so much. I wish everyone here today was as courteous as you, Osrus.
Well, I can't even begin to imagine the nightmare of all the logistics of planning such a grand occasion.
Indeed, quite.
If we may, can you direct me to someone in the kitchen staff or somebody to prepare us a light meal?
Oh, but of course. Please, will you be dining in your rooms, or would you like the communal dining hall at the end of your wing?
What say you guys?
I'm fine going with everybody.
Yeah.
Well, let's eat at the dining hall, sir.
Very good, very good. Welcome home, all of you. You all look a bit more chipper than when you left last. What news of your business in the capital?
And we go and relate, how the unsavory events of last month seem to have been settled, and we'll show off our clean necks.
I say, that is good news.
Very.
Well, welcome home. I understand Master Yuno shall be participating in the Unraveling later this evening. I wish you luck, sir. And we shall prepare you a fine evening meal of. We have a mutton stew with a very delicious biscuit, kind of an ensemble with cheeses and wine. We'll have them sent to the communal dining area. It seats 12, but I'm sure the 6 of you will have plenty of room.
Thank you.
Yes, good day, sir. You heard him. Let's get some stew down to the... And you hear him kind of directing traffic in the hallways. And people start kind of giving you all respectful nods, but moving along. They're pretty busy. The whole house is busy with everybody that's here. You make your ways. If there's anything anybody wants to do individually in your room, Axton is going to go ahead and have a seat in his room and kind of oil his armor. And you hear Atgierr and Freya disappear into their room, and you hear what sounds like packing.
Packing.
People stuffing things into leather pouches and
Okay.
packing. P-A-C-K.
Freezing.
Yeah. I will take the time to pen a letter to my parents, relaying them of recent events and that how I've managed to clear my name of those unfortunate events.
There is a letter waiting for you, actually.
Ah,
Yes, it is addressed to...
Whom it may concern.
It is addressed to Master Kravish. And it is a letter from your father.
Oh.
Detailing business at home, that there is a certain clan, or not a rival clan, but a business competitor that has caused some financial issues. But your father and mother and all your uncles, they're pleading with the courts, and they're pretty confident they'll have some resolution. It's a lot of, I'm very glad to hear you're okay. Your mother and I support what you do. We wish you would write more often, and they actually send you a sack of platinum.
Ooh.
Really?
You can add 20 platinum to your inventory.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Obviously, there's a little snippet from your uncle trying to relay some business advice, like, hey, listen, if you know of any young, talented craftsmen, you should invest in their company and things like that. You'll see a return. And of course, there's a little message from your mother offering you kind of inside joke kind of language, letting you know that she thinks of you when she walks through her garden, and when she hears music, she judges it because it doesn't sound like yours. To the point where you kind of tear up a little bit. You get a little misty-eyed.
Yeah.
And you incorporate what you read in this letter into your letter home, obviously.
Yes.
And there's just a single silver, almost like a chrome leaf or flower petal that you recognize as a species of plant from where you're from. And it's pressed really hard flat, and you know that that's from your sister.
Okay. All right. Cool.
At this moment that Baranor and Maven are caught in the same hallway, same time, making your way to your rooms, where you see young Reese, who is the son of Thorsten and Penelope.
Yes.
He's currently he's trying to pull the string on a small crossbow. Trying to make it fit so he can wrap it around, and it looks like he's having trouble. He just looks up and says, Mr. Baranor, Mr. Maven, it's so wonderful to see you.
Good to see you too. You're having a little trouble with that.
I try to make this, and it's not coming together as easily as I thought it would. And you see that he's using like a piece of wood for the cross piece, and it's way too thick. There's no way it'll bend right.
Oh, that's a good. I mean, it's a fine first attempt there.
Yeah, Fitzy says it's not going to work, but I'm working on it.
Well, I mean, let's see. Oh, I don't know how your mother would approve. Might, while we're in town later today, see if we can't find you some better materials.
All right. Won't tell Mother if you don't.
Yeah.
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Yep.
Quiet. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Just had to restart the soundtrack, y'all.
Yeah. Okay. There.
So, it's going to be 2 hours before the carriage will arrive to pick up Yuno and any guests that wish to accompany him to this event. You all do know, by the way, that the Unraveling is something of a private competition. It's not nearly as... It's a little more exclusive than, say, the free-for-all where everybody goes to the arena for it. It's at the Officio Magistratum Tower of Dainne, which is kind of the official imperial magic and arcane liaison to the Emperor from Dainne.
If Yuno wishes it, I will accompany him.
The more the merrier.
Well, like, is it just limited to people that are attending and friends?
I can't hear you, bud.
Is it just limited to like who's attending and their friends, or is it like attending at +1?
No, they don't. You don't get the sense that there's anybody that can't come, but
Yes.
it's much more exclusive, where people do get turned away if they're not as closely related to the contestant or financially invested in the thing, you know.
So just random rookie-loos can't come.
Yeah, and
I mean,
once you signed up, you know where it is. Most people don't know where it is.
If anyone else has other plans, nobody.
All right.
Well, if there is nothing else, I will fast forward us to the moment of the arrival of the carriage, and as you all kind of walk out to see Yuno off, Yuno and Sazaros, you see a stout, red-haired dwarf standing next to his wife in front of a wagon. It's a wagon that you have seen around the farm before, the estate before, and you deduce that this may be Rhea's cart she arrived in town in. Looks like this. Atgierr stands in kind of a merchant outfit, and some of you would remember that he did speak a few times of his dreams to become a traveling merchant, with all of the wares that he had stolen in his youth. Some of them dangle from rope, as well as pots and pans and other comestibles that are lashed to his cart. There's 2 horses that are pulling the cart. One of them is his pony. His hair is slicked back in a way you've never seen it before. He did have to cut his hair when he was covered in tar. His beard is short, but his hair is to his ears, if not his shoulders.
Well, I must say, sir, you clean up very well. You could almost pass for somebody respectable.
The same could be said for you. You're lucky that you shed your scales every now and then. You don't have to cut your hair off.
Atgierr, don't go on making him too respectable.
Oh, don't worry. He's more than a criminal for both of us. You see kind of Atgierr elbow his wife a little bit. He approaches all of you. He taps his cigar that you've always seen him carry. Taps it out, puts it out on the fence post of part of the property. Well, listen, lads, lassie. This here's where we depart each other. But I don't want you getting all eyed faced on me. I've stolen from every one of you.
Immediately after he says that, Koza just lifts him up and gives him a big old bear hug.
Right. Thank you.
He's a hugger.
Nothing like getting a hug from it. I'm telling you. It's just like hugging a pillow.
It's true.
Well, Crown Collectors, I didn't want to leave you high and dry when I definitely took part in some of the reasons that you all got branded. But that business is behind us. I'm off home now. Trouble afoot in the Dwarven Kingdom of Vorn. Partly my fault, partly not my fault, but I'm off home to settle the business of family.
But we wish you the best of luck.
And I want you all to know that if you're ever looking for work, I know we hear this a lot from people we meet, but if you're ever looking for work, I might have some for you if you're ever inclined to visit the Dwarven city of. He kind of puts a hand on each of you and gives you a subtle, respectful nod and goodbye. Climbs aboard his cart.
In Dwarvish, I will say to him, may you find veins of plenty.
And he returns in thieves' cant with his hand signals, but appears to be him saying, "You hunt good, see you bye, friend." You get on their cart, helps Drea up, gives you all one last look, and tosses Sazaros looks like a steel ring or coin, like a stainless steel kind of material, but a little darker. It's not any metal that you recognize. It's not silver and it's not platinum. It's a coin. He flips it to you. It's about the size of a $50. You catch it in your hand with a clink. He gives you all a wink, lights up another long, fat cigar, touches the reins. Ha! Goodbye, crown collectors. Go collect some crowns for me. Yeah! He takes off as the cart and horses lurch forward with a trot. He turns around one last time, throws his hand up in the air, back at all of you. And he disappears into the city streets beyond the Hargrove estate.
Once he departs, I just kind of look at the coin, just kind of roll it between my fingers and take a look at it.
It's written in Dwarven.
Okay.
It has what looks like just a very blocky, bearded dwarf portrait, with very low, furrowed brow, low setting dwarven helmet, and on the reverse is what looks like a very, for lack of a better word, Minecrafty looking castle. It's very blocky and straight lined edges, and it just looks like a castle.
Okay. I show it to Baranor. It's like, can Baranor read this?
Oh, yeah.
No problem. Yeah, it says the Kingdom of Valandiir, Vaughdor.
Say that again.
Kingdom
I say it again.
Valandiir.
Valandiir?
Vaughdor. Valandiir.
Valandiir, okay.
And the obverse has a date of 776 2A.
2A,
And it says 20 drachms, which is the closest you can enunciate. Baranor,
Okay.
It is some kind of dwarven currency you've never heard of.
All right.
And just so in case there's some confusion.
All right. So, we may have a 50-cent. He may toss me a 50-cent piece. Who knows?
A Canadian dollar,
There we go. All right. So, well. Okay.
Was it 20 or 2?
All right, 20. Don't know why that didn't register my 0.
He gave us a penny in dwarven money.
Yeah. a 2-cent coin.
Can't even buy a pair of boots with 2 drachms.
Yeah, with this and 2 copper, I may get a cup of coffee. Okay. All right. I'll place it in my pocket, and we'll get, make my way back into the estate for our meal.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a mutton stew. It's not bad. You're joined by 2 members of this foreign presence. It looks like a young man with kind of slicked back black hair, wears a pair of actual eye spectacles, which is not something that you see super often in Valandiir. Most people who have eye correction, it's done magically. So to see somebody with some kind of corrective apparatus on his face, the kind of thick-rimmed brass, almost goggles with these kind of studded spikes that kind of protrude from the corners of the side of the goggles. He's just sitting there eating stew, and he looks at all of you and gives you kind of a respectful nod, and mutters something to you as he nods his head in a language that none of you understand. It sounds kind of like a bit like Undercommon, but there's definitely kind of a bunch of syllables in there that you've never heard before. Not that you would understand if it was an Undercommon.
Which guy is it?
He just kind of continues eating, and he's joined by an older gentleman that looks kind of like him. Broad chest, very tall, very lithe, very, very thin, sunken, sallow cheekbones and eyeballs. Slick back hair with a huge gray ribbon down from his top of his head down to the back of his head, and he just kind of gives you all sort of at best or at worst disinterested, at best anxiously polite, and mutters to what appears to be his son, and you can hear them kind of chit-chatting about nothing that seems to pertain to you.
In between bites, I'll lean over to them and I'll say, "Well met, strangers. I trust your journey was uneventful."
Uneventful. Not exactly. We have, not traveled this far north in quite a long time, some of us. So to visit is unfamiliar. However, Lady Kethra's wedding is definitely cause for celebration. But never dream of missing something so important. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And are you related to Lady Kethra? Or what is your relationship to her?
She is the Lady of Raizazan. She is all of Our Lady. But as far as direct family connection, that goes back more generations than some of us would like to investigate, so you could say at a certain point in time, everyone in Raizazan was related to Lady Kethra's family line.
Interesting. So,
where are you from, Master Sazarus?
Kind of tell them that, I'm originally from the far northeastern part of the continent. And to say, over the past several years, I've traveled a little bit of everywhere here along this northern and central part of the continent.
So this place is, in a way, alien to you as well.
Oh, yes, you could say that, but always interesting. I'm always up to see new experiences, to tell other folks, to expand my repertoire.
At this moment, you notice somebody else from wherever they're from Raizazan, kind of approach the threshold and whisper something quick and indiscernible to the gentleman, who he kind of drops his warm expression and leaves his plate, beckons his son, and they leave.
Okay.
A very talkative bunch.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. Well, intrigued, I go back to finishing up my meal.
It's good. It nourishes you.
All right.
You ready for this?
Enter pump up psych music.
Dun, 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 dun.
I got your ass.
What
Time for a montage.
What is a training montage? What is a training montage?
I had the tiger.
What does a training montage look for? Like
he's
for
got about an hour. I don't know how much.
You see, like, the
training
book flip
montage-
open and, like, it's just opening random books. He's not even reading them, but he's, like, speeding through the pages like he's reading a bunch of them. There's no words on any of them, but there's just
Make an
pictures.
investigation check. When you...
He's in the children's section.
How's a pop-up book going to help you?
We'll find out soon.
20. Yeah, you grab hold of a book in the Hargrove's library, and it's a book that you've read before in your own family's library. It's kind of a magic primer that your father showed you when his father had shown him. The Hargroves happen to have a copy of it. It doesn't really show you any new spells, but it definitely brings you back to roots on certain things that you could have maybe overlooked or gotten complacent with, and it just kind of tightens up your brings you back to a time of being home, and it also kind of focuses your magical acumen. You ready for this?
My first magic book.
Learns wish and game over.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Music because the
Music's gone.
There we go.
All right.
It's time for a montage.
It's a very fast montage because basically the carriage is on its way.
Oh, okay.
As he's
Doing
ramming,
one-arm push-ups while reading.
carriage finally arrives. Yuno and Sazaros make your way inside the carriage. It's not nearly as nice and replete with comforts as Hargrove's plush carriage, but this is perfectly comfortable and brings you and Sazaros to the Officio Magistratum Tower, and brings you to the Officio Magistratum Tower, where you are basically greeted by a number of characters in robes of different material and brilliance, and get a certain sense for this environment that you're in, that you're surrounded by a lot of knowledge. You're definitely keying in on the high concentration of arcane experience and innovation, the minds in this place. A lot of people that are lining this very, very high, super steep stadium seating around this central room that you are just now beginning to enter. And there are probably 20 rows of seating that surround this round room that crawl up the wall and as the rows go back, to the point where the last row is probably maybe 60 feet in the air. It descends downwards towards a central standing zone around a stone wellspring of arcane raw energy that just kind of offs upward with little sparks and sparkles and swirls that kind of crawl up the center of this cylindrical tower. As the guests are shown to your seat, which would be Sazaros,
Mm-hmm.
you find yourself a party to a rather large group of contestants that all begin to file into this central room around this wellspring.
Before I part from him,
Sorry.
I wish to offer him some words of encouragement that, like, I have no doubt you're going to ace this thing, and I'm going to give him a bardic inspiration die.
Cool. Okay, that's a D10.
Not yet. It's D8.
D8. There you go. You see a red-scaled dragonborn in a kind of a purple robe. You see a red-haired human in kind of a shabby brown long coat. Hand wraps. Varying degrees of magic users. There's a what looks like a very short halfling gentleman that's in a kind of a long black cloak. His eyes glow from underneath his hood. You also see a what appears to be black-haired human with like kind of a long ponytail and a blue and orange kind of long coat, a bit of a goatee, and just a plethora of people. And sidling up behind you, or I should say, looks like they were already here, is Lady Kethra. She occupies the furthest corner away from where Yuno is standing, and you hear kind of a hustle and bustle, kind of a hush as a large group of blackguard enter the chamber and kind of section a portion of this wellspring off for the visage of a familiar goatee and long or medium black-haired eagle presence of Prince Victor walks into
Oh, great.
looks kind of like this.
This asshole.
Firstly, as the circle around this wellspring begins to settle into a hush, you see a kind of a in between a halfling and a human in height creature with pointed ears like a halfling, but muscled pink and blue hair, pallid gray skin, teal blue crystalline eyes, and just a very elaborate and colorful robe setup. Waves a snake-tipped staff, and this giant smoky orb forms middle of this wellspring about 5 feet in the air. What you see is this. The prince looks over to in Yuno's direction, doesn't say anything, just kind of watches you.
I just stare back and mean mug.
You mean mug.
And then, just to throw him off, Yuno's gonna wink at him.
Give him the old stank face.
So, the chamber is filled around you with fonts of swirling magical energy and dusty tomes on shelves lining the walls. As you delight in pondering what untold secrets they could possess, the colorful halfling wizard centers himself and quiets everyone down. Greetings, contestants. I am Vidlius Snickerfoot, your host and master of the Unraveling, a contest of wits and skills where you weave the very fabric of chaotic reality into a cohesive equation fit for a master of the arcane arts. Here, that reality will be tested. You stand before the orb of existence. As he says this, the swirling pattern above the wellspring solidifies into a deep, black inky sphere with vaguely perceptible veins of vague energy rippling below its glass-like surface. Come now, gather round. Welcome one and all to the Ellington Classic Unraveling. An
Many of you are seasoned practitioners of the arcane, while some of you are eager dabblers. Master or neophyte, it matters not.
Gestures to the orb. And point of order, Koza, you're there too. You did enter this contest. Just so you
Hello.
Okay. The sphere of shadow will judge you all equal. Each of you shall attempt to detangle this puzzle. It will take many forms, many of which will differ person to person. For some, you will find yourself at the base of a great locked chest. Others will see a maze with miles passageway. The orb will tailor the task to your strengths, but only you will be able to solve it. In this magic place, you will have access to many spells and abilities, some of which you might not even particularly know yet, as this contest is something of an illusion in and of itself. Some spells will come to your mind effortlessly, while others will simply not function. This contest is about using magic creatively. Simply blasting a lock with knock or trying to misty step across a gap just might not work. Furthermore, your consciousness will split in two. One set to logically ascertain the puzzle's intricacies in all its varied forms, and the other racing towards the center of the orb, where the fated prize awaits. Many will fail. Only one will reach the end. And for any of you wishing to get ahead with a loose fireball or aberrant witch bolt, one of your competitors, there are barriers here to prevent you. and he stamps his staff, and you feel this rush of air on either side of your body.
There are barriers here to prevent you harming or interfering with each other in any meaningful way.
This victor waves his hand and hurls a dark purple firebolt towards Yuno that ricochets off an invisible wedge-shaped barrier separating the rest of the candidates. Kinda grunts in frustration, but he wears a subtle sneer of amusement.
Ah, there, as you can see. That being said, any attempt to tamper or dispel the barriers will result in immediate disqualification.
Ilias waves his hand over the staff's tip, collects a surge of energy which he channels into the central orb. It begins to waver, becomes translucent, revealing a hopelessly complex knotwork, chains and ropes and strings that alter away at his whim, until a central facet at the heart of the puzzle uncovers a singular black ring set on a small pillow.
Behold your quarry, the ring of prismatic refraction.
All of you lean a little closer to the orb as you gaze and swoon over the prize. A ring of highly polished black metal, inlaid with a thin band of rainbow-like chromatic sparkles and fragments. Several contestants gasp and nod the ring's beauty and hope.
A prize held by precious few mages. The ring has the ability to fragment a spell and affect multiple targets without need of component or recharge. This, my fine spellcasters, what awaits you at the center of my maze. Good luck to you all, and may the Weaver of Fates smile upon you. Begin the Unraveling!
I need Koza and Yuno to roll for initiative.
Since I do not know that Koza was also competing in this, I also gave him. Can I also have given him a bardic inspiration at the same time I gave Yuno?
Absolutely.
That would just seem unfair otherwise.
It would.
That's a 10 for Koza.
And for Koza.
15 for
Right. You get to go first. You over to the map. Forgot to do this first. All right. Find yourself in a kind of a void of deep sea blue and purple clouds roiling with electricity from behind the veil of these clouds. And you are at the entrance of what appears to be some structure. But what I'm going to do... Now, you know how to draw stuff on the map, correct, Kenny?
Yes. Draw shapes.
Right. Can you freehand? Like, do this? Know what I mean?
Freehand. Yep. There's a button for freehand.
Oh. Draw a shape or something, just so I know you can. How this is going to work is, I'm going to drop the shroud, and you are going to navigate a maze. As if you were on... Yeah, thanks. All right.
Jesus, God.
Jesus Christ.
You work with children.
It was bound to happen. It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to navigate maze, and what you're going to do is you're going to draw your way to the other side, and as soon as I see your path, I'm going to stop the timer. This is going to be timed.
Okay.
So if you're ready.
Okay, before I don't see any, it's just black. Is it supposed to be just black?
Yep.
Yes.
I drop it, you're going to be able to navigate this maze, and all you got to do is get to the other side, and as soon as I drop it, I'm going to start the timer. As soon as I see your exit, I'm gonna stop the timer, and no cheating and just drawing straight across the map because I've got the solution overlaid. It's the only way to get there. So
you can't just draw like a straight line from the start to the destination.
Just walk around the border.
But we've got teleportation magic.
We're thinking outside the box, but not going in the box.
We're thinking outside the box by being the box.
All right, what do you think there?
Ready when you are.
All right. Ready? Okay. Ready, set, go. And he's off, and he's going through the maze, and he's bumping into walls, bumping into corners. Will he get there? What time will he get there? As he makes his way through this boom. 15 seconds and 86
Bada-boom.
seconds.
Boom.
All right. As this occurs, all of you can see kind of tense up as he grips the side of the podium in front of him that surround this wellspring. You see him kind of reach forward and lean forward a little bit. You also notice some of the other contestants all have their eyes closed and are kind of, some of them start reaching forward. One of them looks like he kind of draws up and floats about 2 or 3 inches in the air, while others begin to make their way through their own mental puzzles. So, we're going to move on over to Koza.
Alrighty, let's do this.
Koza, you lean into the experience of this contest, and you feel the Moonweaver's energies just kind of flow right into you and inspire you, and you just feel you feel kind of an overwhelming belonging to nature, and you feel yourself longing for the forest. And you get the sense that this is the influence of the Moonweaver to keep nature in mind in what you're about to go through. Find yourself in a grove, forested grove. and it's dark, but not super dark. It's like the forest itself is causing most of the darkness around you. So you see a light, a teal blue light from behind a thick trunked tree. As it moves just into view, you're temporarily blinded by bright light coming at you, and you notice that it is an animal with antlers. It steps towards you, this ethereal stag. It just stands before you, and there's a feeling in the back of your head that this creature is hungry. Move you over to this map. Now, at this moment, you have access to any druid spell or cleric spell you want right now.
Okay.
In this dimension, you feel a surge of arcane energy and abilities that you perhaps have heard of but never really tried out before are at your disposal. And this stag just kind of drags its foot across the ground and just kind of sniffs around and looks up at you, and you can tell this thing is hungry.
Does it seem at all, like, trepidatious to walk towards me?
It's not walking towards you, it's just kind of like pawing at the dirt and sniffing it and then looking at you.
But it doesn't seem, like, afraid of me?
Make an insight check. It keeps looking back up at you.
That's a... One moment. That's a 22.
22. Yeah, I mean, it seems to trust you enough that it's not running away in fear.
Okay. Then in that case, I will cast Goodberry. And summon 5 little good berries. And just kind of kneel down to its level and hold them out in my hand and wait for it to come to me.
He stops for a moment, stares at them, and looks up at you, and makes a gesture towards a soft spot of dirt.
I will
With
take
his nose, like, pointing at it.
I will take one of the berries and plant it in the general area he's pointing to.
Okay. See, the dirt is disturbed, but nothing seems to happen, and he just kind of looks at it and looks at you.
I will cast Druidcraft to make it, to kind of help it grow more into whatever plant a good berry grows into.
You focus your arcane abilities with the help of nature and the Moonweaver behind you. You can sense the soil rustle just slightly enough to where this sprout kind of unfolds underneath the surface and grows about 3 or 4 feet tall, and then stops.
I will cast Shape Water to just water it. See what happens.
As you water it, you notice that it seems to take in this nourishment and looks like it's about to grow, and the leaves start to, like, dry and wilt. And you do notice that with your high passive wisdom, it's rather dark in here, in this part of the woods. There's not a lot of light getting through to this thing, and you're pretty wise to the way plants work, in that it needs light.
Okay. Let me see, do I have Sunbeam? I don't think I do. I do
have
not.
that as your circle of whatever. If it's a cleric or a druid spell at 6th level or whatever and below, you can use it.
Oh no, Sunbeam is a 6th level spell. I definitely don't have Sunbeam.
I will.
So I will... is there a way I can cast Moonbeam without damaging it?
I don't know. It's starting to wilt and dry out even further.
Okay.
One leaf falls off. Another leaf falls off.
I'm gonna cast Spare the Dying on it.
Spare the Dying? Okay.
Yes.
It continues to look very weak and wilty, but it's not dropping any more leaves off. But the stag is kind of like, you hear him bustling a little, looking at you and looking at the plant, and starts kind of pawing at the dirt around where he is and sniffing it, not finding anything. Looks like the effects of the Spare the Dying are kind of starting to peel away.
Can I use Druidcraft to move the tree branches out of the way? Give this plant light.
Does Druidcraft take up?
Oh. Damn.
Oh.
Hello?
Oh, okay, I hear you. Real quiet there for a minute.
I'm trying to read the spell. It's not saying anything about how much it affects. It's just saying that it has a range of 30 feet.
Okay, well, I'll say you can move the branches 30 feet above you, but they go higher than that.
Damn it.
At this point, the protection of the Spare the Dying spell has flaked away in kind of an ethereal shedding of its skin, and the plant continues to wilt.
Can I grab like a nearby rock and cast light on it?
Yes.
What does that do?
Cast light, and the plant springs back to life and sprouts new leaves in the place of the ones that fell off. The water nourishes its roots as it stretches forward, and bunches of leaves sprout from all the little branches that it begins to grow. It is much taller now. Then it kind of stops. Looks like it's healthy, but it's not growing any taller.
If I cast Druidcraft again to make any seed pods on it open, what does it create?
You see little vines start to sprout around the branches of the tree, and then sort of wilt and die and disappear. Seems that spell had no effect. And you notice that the stone that you had cast light on starts to dim and blink.
This is a stretch, but can I point to... Oh, wait, no, it's a touch spell, never mind. I was just trying to cast light on one of the tree branches above it.
Rock's starting to blink a little heavier.
How much can I affect mold earth?
With every blink of the rock, it looks like the leaves are starting to respond by starting to a little bit, and you notice the color of the tree is starting to drain very slightly, especially with each blink of the stone. And the blinks are getting more frequent and longer.
Just to kind of give me more time, I'm going to cast Spare the Dying again on it. See what that does. I'm like frantically looking through my spells.
Faster, it's starting to really droop, and it looks like the light spell is starting to fail on the stone. Is your head?
What happens if I cast Speak with Plants?
Cast Speak with Plants?
Yes. On the little tree.
Okay, you just hear it say, "Dying, please help. Please."
Oh, that doesn't help. I'm gonna cast...
Need more light.
I cast Plant Growth.
Plant Growth? Okay. You see the plants start to explode outward with branches that cover with leaves. It grows about 10 feet in height. It sprouts. Little apple.
I pluck an apple and hold it out to the stag.
The animal lurches forward, graciously accepts your offering, and you see the entire forest swirl into a black hole. I'm gonna go back to Yuno. you find yourself a different swirling cloud formation. It appears that this structure is larger, a little more geometrically complex. Is there anything you would like to do prior to this portion of your escapade in preparation?
Nope.
And on a mission. All right. Oh, are you ready?
And I can use magic though, right?
Yes, you can. As a matter of fact, the first one seemed rather easy. So you find yourself skeptical at this next step's simplicity. All right.
Hold on 1 second. Hold, please. I need...
Each time that this happens, everybody else who's there, so Sazaros, can see the contestants leaning further and further into this black inky orb. But it looks like they are not really touching anything. Almost like the closer they get to it, the larger and further away it feels for each of them. Almost like it's just this black void in the middle of three-dimensional space that everybody's just kind of reaching towards the center of, but it's growing larger and larger compared to them as they get closer to it. All right, you ready?
Hold, please.
All right, let's get going quickly.
All right.
Ready?
Good to go.
All right. Ready, set, go.
Cast Dimension Door.
Dimension door fails in your hands. Because you find yourself in a dimension that is not exactly anything that you've been to before. The structure ahead of you is black marble with veins of white and gold. And you find the walls to all be rather confusing in their construction. Your left turn brings you up against a flat wall you didn't see before. A right turn brings you up into a dip that throws off your pacing. You trudge through, and you finally make it to the end.
I mean, I didn't, because I can't see the other half of the...
Oh, where'd you end up?
Right here.
I don't see anything except a little bit right up here.
Well, refresh your map, because I have a blue line all the way.
All right.
I'm also seeing
At the edge of the triangle.
I'm also seeing just the little line.
Yeah, there's a small little teal line in the upper corner there.
Yeah,
that's almost... Oh, there we go. Got it. All right.
That was weird.
Well...
As you stop,
I can't get rid of it because I...
Nope, we got it. I got it. As you stand before this doorway, there's a curtain of black smoke just billowing down from where you are. You see you're in a long hallway that has two other entrances to it. You stand in the first one that you had approached. And if you're ready, you can continue, and 3, 2, 1, go. As you dart into the room, you find its twists and turns confusing and erratic as you make your way back through this maze to get yourself to the end. And you made it. Boom. All right. There, as you're traveling through these halls, you almost feel somebody like kind of shoulder check you as they run past you. But as you look, you notice that there's nobody there, and you don't get the sense that anybody really hit you. But you just feel this presence of someone rushing by you. You make your way down to the exit of the maze and find yourself in this wide, red, swirling storm sea floating in midair. All right, back to Koza. Koza, the swirling cloud of energy that you found yourself, that was this inky black, suddenly focuses into a similarly dark forest grove with a wide beam of moonlight resting between 5 marble statues. Recognize these statues as that of several gods of the mortal realm. You see Corellon, the father of elves, Moradin, the creator of the dwarves, the Moonweaver, whom you're very familiar with. You also see Groomsh, the one-eyed god of orcs, and the Wild Mother, in her infinite matronly, nature-based goodness, whom you are very familiar with as well. They each hold an empty font. They stand before you in earnest waiting. Do you?
I'm going to cast Sacred Flame into Moradin's font and see what that does.
You eject a column of white fire that bathes the statue. It does not smoke, it does not cinder, it does not soot, as this is magical fire. But the dwarf remains unchanged, as does the font he carries. Start to feel the moonlight dim just slightly above your head.
I will cast Moonbeam on the Moonweaver's font.
A column of even brighter light illuminates the central statue, and when the spell's effect dissipates, you notice the font she's carrying is lit up with a liquid-like moonlight that sparkles upwards and lights up her eyes.
Do I see any metal objects near me?
Make a perception check.
Oh, that's not great. 5.
5? Nope. Metal around you where you can see. You're in kind of just a moonlit forest in the middle of nowhere.
Okay. Then I will take the dagger out of my inventory, put it in the bowl, and cast Heat Metal.
Bowl.
The Moradin's bowl.
Heat metal?
Heat Metal, yes.
Oh. Yeah, you feel like it's... The metal is warming the stone of this statue. It doesn't really seem to do anything.
Damn.
The light starts to dim even further.
What happens if I cast light on Corellion's bowl?
As you shine light directly onto this statue, their eyes start to illuminate, and the bowl fills with magical arcane energy.
Yes! Alright.
This being the god of magic, soaks it in easily. However, the moonlight continues to dim, and the beam of light starts to narrow. Seems like every time you light one of these things up, the moonbeam replenishes itself, but then slowly begins to dim and dwindle.
What happens if I cast Ice Knife and put one into Moradin's bowl?
Ice Knife. There is you kind of fabricate this crystalline blade that lays into his plate. It just kind of gently slides around and slowly spins. Because this stone plate, this font is very, very smooth, highly polished stone. It just kind of slowly spins. Moonlight gets dimmer and dimmer.
Fuck. What about Flame Blade?
Flame Blade. What?
For Moradin. I'm trying to figure out Moradin's as fast as possible.
What is it, Flame Blade?
Yes.
It, kind of washes over him and clangs really hard on the side of its helmet. You notice there's like a very small crack in the stone now, and the ice knife starts to melt real fast.
No, I just want to put it on the bowl. I don't want to attack him with it.
You see this column of steam start to gout from the ice knife, and after about 5 or 6 seconds, the flame blade goes out. Moonbeam's really starting to get slow. It's starting to get really dark in the forest. All you can really see are the glow in the god's eyes at this point.
Alright, I'm gonna cast Elemental Weapon and put it in Moradin's bowl.
Elemental Weapon. What exactly does that do?
It says I touch a non-magical weapon, which in this case would be my dagger, and it becomes a magical weapon, and I can choose any damage type that goes along with it, and it becomes a +1. And in this case, I'm going to choose fire.
Fire. You place it in the Moradin's bowl, and the kind of light in his eyes starts to alter, and boom, beams upward. You see where the empty bowl was, where you put the dagger, you see it start to crystallize and explode into a pile of small gems.
Finally, Jesus. Okay.
The column of moonlight goes whoosh, lights up the whole chamber again.
I'm going to cast. What does Druidcraft do for the Wild Mother's Bowl?
You see a little tiny bush, like a small flowery formation, go in her bowl, and her eyes light up green.
Okay. Alright. What happens if I cast Bane on Groomsh's bowl?
There is quite literally no effect. And it looks at this point, how far along you are, the moonbeam or the light beam is starting to narrow very, very quickly compared to.
What about inflict wounds?
Don't see any. See kind of like the beginning of black veins start to dance across the plate. It kind of bursts a little bit, but nothing really happens. And the moonbeam gets about pencil thin. One more shot.
Damn it.
10 seconds.
Oh, come on, I don't have anything for this.
Light
Fuck!
slammed shut. You feel yourself blasted backwards and find yourself on your back on the stone floor of the chamber. Stand up, and the orb solidifies into a very, very dark, matte black shape. You see the halfling kind of helping somebody else up who looks like they had been blown backwards as well. Actually, look around. There's a few people kind of sitting on their knees, kind of huffing and puffing and looking around at the other people who, at this point, you see many of them reaching towards the center of the orb. Yuno included. Yuno's about 3 or 4 feet off the ground, reaching forward, his eyes closed. You find yourself on your butt, Koza. Fortunately, disqualified. Let's head over to Yuno.
Damn it.
Alright, buddy. Close. Just ran out of time. Alright, Yuno. What you're gonna do is the same kind of idea, but this way, in this way, your senses seem dulled, and you feel kind of a woozy feeling as reality seems to be bending and shaking and warping, and you look at your hands and one finger gets skinny, the other gets fat, and your arm stretches, and the whole basis of reality in this place seems like, walking with perpetual drunk vision. Find a tower in front of you. It's just a long, thin, white and brown brick tower that seems to lean and twist and wind and almost looks like it's going to form a horseshoe shape and touch the ground again, and then it straightens itself out. So what I need you to do is make your way to the center of this maze and then stop. Got it?
Got it.
All right. I'm going to reveal the whole thing. You got to make your way to the center and then stop. And 3, 2, 1, go. The walls of this tower seem to undulate, and the patterns on the walls themselves seem to bend and stretch, and you find yourself kind of pawing forward, kind of blistering your way through this maze until you can get to some semblance of the center of this tower. It feels like the whole thing geometrically doesn't make any sense. Your hands kind of dip through a wall at one point. All right. And there we go. Whoever keeps writing graffiti on the wall, your children, and knock it off. There we go. All right. You find yourself at the center of this tower. There's a gleaming font of magical arcane energy that kind of looks a little similar to the one that you were all standing in. And as you look around to the 2 other exits out of this room, feel the arcane energy invigorate your mind, almost like you've got a preview of which direction you should go. And you feel yourself kind of studying walls and studying passageways, and the arcane energy just fills you with divine knowledge of the structure of this place. You just as you're about to take off, your vision resets itself all through those corridors back to where you're standing at the font of arcane energy, and you get a head start on this maze. So whenever you want to start, go. Find yourself kind of weaving in and out.
Which exit? Does it not matter the exit?
Maybe. You almost got to what you thought was the end before your vision snapped back to where you were.
Snap back to reality.
Yeah.
Did I see which way to start?
Huh? You saw.
Did I see which way to start in my vision?
You went down one of them, and before you got to the end, your vision got snapped back. You're not actually sure which one leads to the end, but you felt like you were nearing the outer wall. Whenever you want to go. He twists and turns through the maze. He feels tugging on his cloak.
Done.
And makes his way out, finding your way through, following the path you were on. You make your way out of the tower and out the other side. You fall 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 feet. You fall 1,000 feet until the wind whips back your hair. The clouds about you swirl from red to gray to black until you're surrounded by darkness. Nothing but darkness on all sides. The wind kicking up. You feel your stomach staple to the back of your robes. As you feel a certain dread, oh no, did I make a mistake? Did I go the wrong way? You slam down onto solid stone. One moment. You feel a certain dampness to the air around you. You feel heavily out of breath. You notice you are in complete darkness. And there's a dampness to the air. As you look down, feel that there's just a very, very light, very, very small amount of light permeating your immediate area. Where you find yourself is here. something real quick. Find yourself here. If you want to go ahead and place your mini on the map, Mr. And let's shrink you to regular size. There you go. Water is very cold. There we go. Water is, there's a very slight lapping of water all about you. And what you find is that anytime your toe touches the water, a crust of stone forms around that part of your foot that you're able to kind of kick off. As soon as it drops in the water, it kind of grows slightly, almost like a crystalline formation about the size of a basketball, and starts to roll down a steep bank on the edge of the water, disappear into the water.
Okay. I'm going to pick up a rock on the ground and cast light on it. And then use Mage Hand to carry it 30 foot north.
As soon as you step into the water, which you're on a small little island.
In the water.
Huh?
I don't have to step in the water. That's what Mage Hand is for.
Oh, Mage Hand. Oh, sorry. 30 feet north. All right, hold on one second. As soon as you light it up, you see all around you. We can type this first. Oh. As soon as you pop that off, you send it 30 feet north. Ooh, I can do this. And I'm gonna a little quicker than I usually, which isn't saying much. There you go. See that? Hello.
Oh. Sorry, was on mute.
Can you see all of that?
Yep.
Okay.
Now is this actually to scale? I'm gonna cast Dimension Door.
As you go to cast Dimension Door again, the magic slips from your finger, almost like you dropped something, and ethereal energy just sort of fails. You hear a rattling and crackling and all around you. Hear, like, it's subtle. It almost like sounds like wood sticks kind of bumping into each other and clattering around every 20, 30 feet around you. It seems kind of far. It seems like about maybe 40 to 60 feet away. You can definitely hear the lapping water and the drips and the drops. The feeling you're perhaps in a subterranean pool, pond, or lake of some kind.
I'm going to shoot fire bolts off. One north, one east, then south, then west.
All right. As you do so, you actually
my
light.
Spot and.
All right. Go ahead.
Yep. I'm going to stand and spin basically in one spot and launch fire bolts in a 360. 360.
All right. We're going to say that your firebolts actually glance torch that dangle from chains from the ceiling, and I'm going to go ahead and light this up. What you see, if I could ever get it all the way loaded, is, here we go, a huge chamber filled with water. A few of these large, 20, 25 foot wide cages, and rows and rows and rows of bones that line the shore on the outset of this pool. And to the extreme north, where your first firebolt landed and where you tried to dimension door, you see what looks like a pedestal with a kind of a red box or sphere, half-moon sphere, something like that, with a glowing red gem in it. Very north. Just beyond that, you see what looks like a heavy iron gate.
Alright, I want to try using control water.
Huh? What would you like to do?
I would like to part the Red Sea. Or at least this path right here.
And what is the... Let's see here. Range. Control water.
300 foot.
300 feet away?
On a cube
and
that's 100... The cube is 100 feet on a side.
Okay. What level is that spell?
4th.
So, yeah, you are able to, what you see is you form this space in front of you. I'm guessing you're doing it right here?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, you, part that water, and it forms this huge wall where pretty much half of the room is cut off. And you notice it goes way far down until it starts to reveal like stalagmites growing from a portion of the cave floor about 70 feet down. Looks like your island drops right the fuck off. And it only rises again once you get to shore.
Alright, hold please. Let me just look something up.
As you're contemplating, you notice some of the bones start to wiggle and shake. As they wiggle and shake, you notice an arm extend upward from the pile. Skeletonized arm, just reach straight up. Almost like saying hi.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop control water.
Okay.
And drown whoever's down there.
Well, this is something you see on the outset where all these bones are. You see a skeletonized arm followed by a torso start to rise upward. Its jaw starts to slack and almost fall. It's wearing extraordinarily skimpy, scathy, loincloth type clothing. It rests itself up with a spear in its hand and it rises to its feet. Stands there for a moment. Not sure what to make of you or anything else.
I'm going to still drop control water.
Yep, the water returns.
I'm going to cast fly.
Okay. As you cast fly, you rise slightly off the ground, only about a foot. It's like this works a little bit here. Skeleton starts to walk towards you. As soon as it hits the water, you notice that it splashes in the water and a crystalline stone-like structure grows over everything that is touching the water until it's basically just this stone blob. And it just clings to the side of the where it was standing on the edge. And just now there's this like 5-foot-long stone peninsula growing out of the side of the shore. You notice over here another skeleton rises to its feet, this one holding a club, cocks its head and starts to walk towards you until it stumbles in the water, and it too gets covered in a rocky crystalline structure, fuses it to the shore. And another skeleton, and another, and another, and another. About a dozen start standing up. You do.
I do nothing, and I'm gonna wait for him to come at me.
Okay. Well, 1 by 1, and then 2 by 2, and 3 by 3, 4 by 4, more skeletons dumping themselves into the water until they start forming something of a network. And pretty soon the shore fuses. You feel the fly spell start to falter, and your foot hits the ground again. More skeletons rise. You can feel them trying to reach through caged bars on the outset of this circle. More and more and more, they keep falling into the water. These little stone structures fusing together, allowing them to get closer and closer. At this point, you notice they're close enough at this point that you can see some of them have something dangling from their neck. You're not sure if it's a locket or a coin or some kind of jewel. They all seem to be very similar. The closer and closer they get.
I'm going to wait.
Right? Some of these catwalks. You're on the ground now. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Walks that they're forming start to fuse together to form a kind of a starfish shape around this. One of them has a spear. He's actually going to throw it at you. And that's a 24.
That hits.
That hits, all right. That's going to be 7 points of piercing damage. What do you wish to do?
Hold please. I'm gonna cast lightning bolt.
All right.
In a line.
And where would you like the line to go?
Well, here.
Phew. Yeah, you eviscerate a whole line of these skeletons that just erupt into dust, and you see two look like copper or brass or bronze objects on chains cling to the ground, cling and clang to the ground. One of them looks like it drops into the water and falters away. This group of skeletons are replaced by another line that are moving all around you. And you look over in this direction, and you see a glowing humanoid shape form in the darkness. And it has the familiar visage of Baranor, who forms on this bank right here. And as you're sitting there trying to scratch your head, figuring out what the hell he's doing here, you see Koza over here, followed by Zazaros over here. And they're all their bodies are consumed in this ethereal visage. This and I didn't get Maven's picture done yet. Hold on. Give me one moment.
Okay.
So, they're all meant to be on there. So, if you guys want to go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, they get to do something.
Ooh, that's good. Oh wait, hang on. That's a 19 for Koza.
All right.
23.
All right. Are you guys able to add your own stuff yet? Your own initiative order?
No.
No. Well, maybe I need to get rid of everybody. You see where your tokens are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put the token there.
Hold on. If Maven hers. All right. There you go. Yeah. Let's
All right. I'll
clear
do that
everything
again.
out, and you guys can go ahead and your own where you were.
Do I take the 9 or do I take the 22?
Take the 9.
Okay, 9. And the turn.
Right.
It's batting 1,000.
So you see dozens and dozens of these skeleton creatures all over the place. I'm going to give everybody a chance to act twice instead of. There's a lot of these little creatures, and you could see that it's kind of destroyed a line of them without any problem at all. So they seem pretty flimsy. So I'm going to let everybody act twice. Let's see. Sazaros, do you have control of yours?
Movement control, yes.
All right, let me.
Where's Maven going to be?
And Maven, you should have access to your.
Yes, but where did you put her?
I didn't put her anywhere.
Okay.
I have not brought her out. So if she can't do it, that's something I need to know.
Where do you want to do it? Okay. Great.
There we go. Got everybody on the field.
Hang on. One moment, please.
This. We all set?
Yep.
All right. Okay.
I don't see a turn order box. Did it get deleted?
There it is.
Alright. I originally rolled a 19, but whatever.
Well, you can change it.
Hey, you can manually change it, right?
Yeah.
Alright, there we go.
There we go.
So sure.
All right. Their ethereal forms join Yuno on this battlefield. You find yourselves, your conscious kind of split. Whatever it is you were doing that day, you feel your essence kind of being torn away and split in half. Or you can see, as you're pulled backwards at great speed, you can see your body performing the task that you were doing. Your consciousness now is paying attention to something happening in the far away across the city from wherever you are. You find yourself deposited in the subterranean cave-like environment, and you look at your hands, and they're glowing a teal blue color. And you see Yuno at the center of this island, and you see skeletons all around you. All right. First one up. I'm just gonna put some more of these little guys here.
Oh, did I need to roll a turn order or no?
Oh yeah, you get 2 as well. You need to add a turn.
Oh. Yeah. Hold, please.
Okay.
There we go.
For a little bit. Okay. Well, David, you find yourself on this peninsula with several. I'm just going to keep adding these guys. Don't mind me. Because they do keep getting up and walking around. What would you like to do as I fill the battlefield with skeletons?
Okay. I'm going to go to the closest one to me.
Okay. It turns at you and has sunken eyes and a loose jaw, and it raises both of its empty hands like it's about to either strike you or block something that you're trying to do. Not sure what.
Oh no, it's harder environment.
I'm just going to hit him a couple times just about the non-facial region.
All right.
First one is 28 to hit.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and that'll be...
Hello.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Can't really hear you guys.
Okay. We couldn't hear you at all. You were just not there.
Oh, that's because I was waiting for you to say something.
Okay, 16, does that hit?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They are easy to hit little skeleton men.
So it'll be 9 points of damage for 19 total.
Oh, okay. It bursts into pieces.
Okay. And then I'm going to come
It gets
over.
replaced by one right next to it.
Over there and keep going to do flurry of blows. Okay. And then I'm just gonna hit him twice in the face too. 12 to hit.
Hello. We can hear you.
Oh, he got a phone call. Sorry.
Okay.
12 hit.
12 to hit. Let's see here. Yes. Sorry. No, that does not hit. Are you there? We're having some technical difficulties, I think.
I'm here just fine.
That's much better.
Okay, it might have come. There we go. Is that better?
Much better.
Okay, yeah, no, it was 24 to hit and then 8 points of damage.
Okay. Your last strike hits him. You blast half of his body apart. You can see his ribcage and his arm just kind of splinter away into shatters behind it. But it's not down. And you do notice that there is this shiny metal object dangling from its kind of collarbone. It looks kind of like a key.
Okay. And that'll be my turn.
All right. Ravish, or Sazaros still. You're up.
All right. I am going to cast Spirit Guardians. I'm going to go ahead and cast my Spirit Guardians.
Okay.
So that's my 15 feet of Fleeting Fairies.
Yeah. These two guys definitely are in trouble. So I'm going to go ahead and roll for them. Is that a wisdom save?
It is DC 15, I believe. Yep.
All right, well, that's a 10. Ooh, all these guys. Hold on. 8. Yikes. Ooh, that's a 16. This guy passed right here. This guy got an 8, so he failed. This guy got a 13. What was it I have to beat? I don't think that's enough. Okay. One guy passed. Everybody else takes full.
All right, so the guy that passed takes 7. Everybody else takes 14.
Okay. Just do this. This guy's down. These two guys are down. They just burst apart. And where they fell, their bones splatter into the water and do the same thing where they just kind of grow these stone crystalline structures that interlock and widen this walkway that you're on. This guy's still up and he's moving towards you.
Okay. I've drawn Anthem's Edge to give me some additional light.
All right. Just as you drew Anthem's Edge, you start to notice the piles of bones on the edges of the room start to shake vigorously as more skeletons start to rise.
Nice.
End your turn?
Yes.
All right.
And I will just get ready to make my stand.
Oza, you are up.
Alrighty. I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon and put it right there. Although it's not letting me put it down.
Where did you put it?
Hang on.
There's no picture because it's all messed up.
Oh,
So let me...
right there.
Hold on. was his spiritual weapon. All right. Are you attacking something with it?
I'm going to attack this guy.
All right. You go ahead and make your attack with it.
Yep. That's kind of wisdom. That's a 12 to hit.
12 does not hit.
Alright, well then as my action, I'm going to cast Thorn Whip on the guy directly in front of me.
Okay.
Hang on, just check and see if I have to make an attack roll or he needs a dex save. Okay, no. It is a melee spell attack. That's a 18 to hit.
That does hit.
Alright, so that is 2d6 piercing damage. So that's 3 points of piercing damage.
Alright. Noted. Yeah, you kind of smash him with this thing, and you see parts of his bone in his arm just sort of take off into the water and immediately soak. It's almost like it's soaking up water like a sponge and grafting itself to the nearest rock beside it. All right. You're up.
Yuno's actually gonna do nothing because he's on an island by himself.
Okay. You stand right there, and you notice that these skeletons, they all start to straighten themselves up, and they all rush as fast as they can. So I need Haven, Koza, everybody except Yuno to make a strength save, please.
Oh boy. Oh, that's a 4.
A 4. You are knocked prone. Your hand touches the water, and as it does, you feel this tight crackling around your skin as it grows these stony growths all over it, and you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. Same as Kravish, you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as you're also knocked prone by these skeletons that barrel over you, racing into the water. Baranor, you're fine. You're able to kind of keep from being pushed over. What about Maven?
13.
13. You also falter and are knocked down prone. You are being trampled by skeletons that dive towards you, and your leg kind of touches the water, and you feel this tightening around it. You also take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. The skeletons dump their way and dive into the water, forming even more connections in this network of stone growths that snake its way towards Yuno until they touch. Question answered.
Okay. All these other skeletons that rushed, would they not have taken damage by my spirit guardians?
Yes, of course they would. And I'm going to say that you just notice where you are. Actually, why don't you make your strength save advantage? That's a good point, because you're actually thinning the herd. There's not quite so many. They're falling in the water around you, but they're having trouble getting through your barrier. Not much better. Yeah, you get knocked down, but you just see them just turning into dust all around you.
Okay.
It's at that moment that a fresh batch of skeletons emerges from the ring and notices that there is now a direct line towards Yuno. And that's where we're going to take a break.
All right.
We will be back here at, we'll call it 4:35. Yeah, 4:35. Just a few minutes, all right, folks?
Sounds good.
Alrighty.
All
All
right.
right, well, we're going to hop right back into it.
Sure.
So, up next is Baranor. You find yourself also surrounded by skeletons as they bristle by you and knock off of you and dump into the water.
Okay, but I'm just attacking those that actually have icons.
I don't know. What you doing? Your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna go to this one and hit him twice with the wind racer.
Okay. This one does have what looks like a small brass object, although he's kind of shaking around in your movement, so it's difficult to really see what it is. Alright, only one is actually seen for sure what this is Yuno and Maven.
Okay.
Razor hits. Alright. Yeah, you hack its arm, and its arm flies off into the water, swells with stone growths, and sinks. 2 consecutive hits. Yeah, the first one slices off its arm, the other one cuts it straight in half, and it just collapses in a pile of bones on the ground.
Can I look at whatever the brass object is?
It's a key.
Oh, it's a key. Can I pick up the key?
Pick up a key.
I have a key. You know I have a key.
Next to you, right next to you, because I forgot to have the skeletons go. Right next to you, as you reach for the key, you see a pile of bones animate, and half of a torso kind of leaps into being, and he's going to slap you right across the face with a 19.
That hits.
That hits. Does 2 points of bludgeoning damage as he slams you in the side of the head. There's 2 on Koza, so that's going to be a 13 from one and a 10 from another. They both miss.
That's my turn now.
Hello, Koza. You're muted.
Sorry. Yes, they both miss. Did I lose everybody?
We're here.
Hang on.
Points of
You guys are all.
damage.
Could you repeat that?
I said one of them does hit you, and
Okay.
for 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Alrighty. Okay.
There's 2 that are adjacent of Maven, and they are flanking, so they both get advantage on this attack. One's a 22. One is a natural 20 on Maven. So that's going to be 4 points of bludgeoning on the natural 20, and 1 point of bludgeoning from the other skeleton. So you get kind of sidelined on both sides. You've got like a whole bunch around you. So I'm going to give 3 attacks at you, all with advantage because they're all flanking each other, and they're just surrounding you, starting to dogpile on you. So the first attack is a 18 plus 4. It's 24. Next one...
Yep.
Sorry?
I said yes.
Okay. The next one is a straight 20. The next one is very low, 13.
13 does not hit.
Okay. And the last one is a 17.
I cast shield.
Okay. On all of them?
Just on the last one.
Okay, so 2, it looks like 2 of them hit. So that's going to be...
And I'm going to use my reaction to cast Silvery Barbs on the lower of the 2 previous, of the first 2, the lower of the first 2 that hit.
Okay.
So he has,
I think that was a 17.
so he has to re-roll and take the lower roll.
Oh, my mistake. Okay. Yeah, that's a natural 3.
All right.
Alright, so only 2 hit you. Good job.
And will get...
Only 1 hit. Sorry, only 1.
Yeah. And will have advantage on his next attack, ability check, or saving throw.
Right on. Alright. You only take 4 points of bludgeoning damage from that huge barrage. With both intervention from your friend and your own shield, you're able to block most of that damage without any problem. Let's see, I think that's everybody. Yeah. Sazros, you're in the middle of this group that are starting to advance. So before they can get to you, I'm going to have them roll advantage or wisdom checks.
Okay.
One is a 17, one's a 16, and one is a 7.
All right, let me roll what their damage would be.
All right.
Shitty.
5 full, 2.
5 full, 2 half.
All right, yeah. They all managed to make through here,
Mm-hmm.
and they surround you, and they're all going to hit you. They took a little damage, but they're able to kind of muscle through your flitty fairies. They can't flank. So that's a 14 on one, an 8 on another, and a 19 on the last.
Can I check to see if they roll with a disadvantage because of my armor?
Uh-huh. That would be per attack you'd have to roll.
Okay. First one does not take. Neither does that one. That one does. So the first 2 are normal, and the third one was at disadvantage.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It missed on the first one anyway. All right.
Then I'll take the second one.
Well, the first 2 go for the first 2 attacks, and only one of those landed, and the third one is the one that is at disadvantage.
Right.
So he hits you once, or one of them hit you.
One of them hit me, yes.
Or 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Just kind of crashes against your ethereal, scaly skin. All right, that is everybody. That is also the end of Baranor's turn. Maven, you are up, top of the round. You have one of these keys in your hand.
Okie dokie. So, I'll just hit the one in front of me. 30-20.
Yep, that hits.
7 points of damage.
Yeah, he obliterates.
Okay.
And you see behind you a pile of bones that had previously been shattered springs to life and turns towards you. There's still one right here.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Yeah, I'll just take the second shot at that guy. 16 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
That is 11 points of damage.
All right. He is still up.
Okay. And then for my bonus action, I'll just take an extra attack. Unarmed strike.
All right.
18 to hit.
Yeah, definitely. You're adding your new magic weapon stats too, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
12 points.
Yeah, he shatters into bone fragments. His skull topples, and where his skull lands, underneath it, another pile of bones populates it, and it springs to life behind it. Seems like where one falls, another takes its place. This one, however, has a shiny object dangling from a chain. As it starts to rise, you just notice a glint of it in the dim light of this chamber. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right. Okie doke. Sazros, you're next with you, Koza on deck.
Okay. I'm going to take half my movement to get up.
All right.
I'm going to take the disengage action and use the remainder of my movement, remaining 15 feet, to get closer to Nuno.
Okay.
So that
You
would
can
put me
skid along the edge
Right
of
here?
that bank. Yep. Okie doke. He is well within your protection. Anything else you'd like to do?
Let me see. What have I got for a bonus action? Let's see.
Any skeletons that are near me now have to make a save.
I really should start putting some around you. It would make more thematic sense for there to be some around you if I keep attacking you with them. Or just simply surrounded, my friend. So, say that. Okay. How does that work? Do I have to make those saves as soon as you make that decision, or at the end of your turn? You know?
Let me pull up the spell description so I can read it off to you. When the creature enters the area on a turn or starts its turn there.
Okay. So I would say, see, these three.
They entered it for the first time.
Yeah, okay, so that's a wisdom save from all three. Okay, one's a natural 20. -1 is a 19. One's a 13, and one's a natural 1.
Okay, so 14 points is full, 7 is half.
Oh, cool. Alright, so this one passed the natural 20, so it takes 7. These two are gone. Are replaced by... I'm just going to move these guys around, but this one's gone and this one's gone. They are replaced from skeletons on the opposite side of the field, right here. Okay. All right. Oza, you're up. You know, you're next.
All right. So I'm gonna have my spiritual weapon take a swing at the skeleton on the top.
Okay.
So that will be a...
Can I? Is it possible to yell something as a free action?
Yeah, sure. I kind of poo-pooed that at one point, and I felt guilty, so I'll let you shout, like, something short.
A short phrase, yeah. I'm just going to shout out, rally around you-know.
All right?
That's a... 18... 24 to hit.
Yeah, you definitely hit it. Look how.
So that is 1d8 plus 3. Oh, that's 4 points of damage.
4 points will do it. This thing was pretty shaky as it started. It teeters on the edge of the water. And as you go to slice it, it dips its toes and solidifies its entire foot, cemented to the ground where it meets the water. And you slice its head clean off, and the silvery or brass or bronzy looking object around its neck separates on the chain and goes right in the water.
Oh boy.
He is gone, and he is replaced by a guy just to the left of your spiritual weapon. Rises out of the pile of bones.
Okay. I'm still prone, correct?
Yes, you are.
Alright, I'm going to... Let's see, can I do all this in one turn? Yes, I can. Alright, I'm gonna get up. Hang on, let me get rid of this. Get up, go towards this guy, and cast Primal Savagery and attack him.
Okay. What does that do?
It makes... I can make a melee spell attack, and it's basically an unarmed strike.
Ow.
But it deals... it deals acid damage.
Dang.
Okay, so that is a natural 20 to hit.
Hey.
Okay, so that's a D10 acid damage. That's 6 plus... Do I add anything for damage or no? No, I don't. So that's 6 points of acid damage.
All right, it melts the skeleton, and it just kind of solidifies into this gooey chewed gum form as this effect wears off, and it drops in the water, and it starts to crystallize and swell up, but most of it just kind of reacts with the acid and neutralizes it. It kind of rolls away pathetically.
Okay, that's it.
All right, you're up.
Alright, I'm going to Misty Step.
Okay.
To right here as a bonus action.
Okay.
And I'm gonna Misty Step over here as my main action. And I'm gonna inspect
You can do that as a bonus and an
this
action.
thing. Well, it's a bonus action spell. I would assume that you can cast it as an action as well.
If you cast it as a bonus action, you can only cast a cantrip as an action.
Oh, that's right. So I'm gonna back there.
You're still right there.
No. It won't let me. There we go. I'm gonna cast Toll of the Dead in this guy.
Okay. Is that a wisdom save?
Yep.
It's a natural 1, but he hasn't been injured, so it's not a D12.
No, so he's gonna take 2d8. Let's roll it out. 7 points.
7 points. He drops like a stone, or rather a pile of bones. And you see off to the right of your vision, you see another one start to rise up and straighten itself. So at this moment,
then I'm gonna use my movement. to move
Sorry, go
over
ahead.
here.
okay.
I'm gonna use my
You
movement.
approach what looks like a brass spiral patterned kind of dais or podium with a object about inches in diameter, almost like a half sphere, embedded in the table with kind of like bronze or brass filigree kind of setting, almost like a ring setting. And this guy here is going to make his way behind you. This guy over here is going to make his way over here behind you. You're going to flank each other. They're both going to take attacks at advantage. That's an 18 on one.
I cast Shield.
Okay. So that one is nullified. And the other one is a 22. The
That
advantage.
hits.
Okay. He's going to slam attack you for 6 points of bludgeoning damage. We got... These three are now without a target, so they're going to all swarm Sazaros and enter your Flitty Fairies. This guy here. This guy is actually, he's kind of stuck. This place is too narrow, so just two of them. But all three of them are going to take wisdom saves. And oops, one's a natural 20, that's cocked. One's a 4, one's a 17, it's 16. A natural 20, a 16, and a 4. All right, two of them drop. Bloop, bloop, and one of them drops a small key on a chain. So at this point, Avon and Sazaros all have these objects that have been dropped by some of these skeletons. Each got a brass key. Very simple key, doesn't look super intricate or delicate.
Or also has a key.
Alright?
Baranor also has a key.
Baranor, speaking of Baranor, these two guys are gonna just swarm the heck out of you.
Sure.
One's gonna swing with advantage. That's gonna be a 22, or no, 23. This one's gonna swing with advantage. That's an 18, and the other one does not get advantage. That is a 12.
The 12 misses 18.
All right. 12 misses 18. 18 and 18 are 23. 23 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 and
So the first 2
4
hit.
points of bludgeoning from one, 7 points of bludgeoning from another.
7 and 4.
Huh?
Okay.
And the one right next to you, Koza, is going to slap at you. That's a 19.
That hits.
That's going to be 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Yikes.
This guy's going to move up behind Maven, and this guy's going to move over here, so they both get advantage. That's going to be a 19 on one, and an 18 on another. Holy crap, I'm really high and really low. So that's going to be, 2 points of, 2 points of bludgeoning from one, and 8 points of bludgeoning from the other.
Gotcha.
All right. That is going to conclude the skeleton onslaught. Aranor, you're up.
All right, I'm going to cast Zephyr Strike on myself. I'm going to move up to this guy. First off, let me make sure where I'm going to end up at the end of this. Okay. All right. So I'm going to move up to next to this guy. I'm going to attack him once with the Wind Razor.
And these two guys both get attacks of opportunity.
Nope. Zephyr Strike negates that.
It negates that? Oh, that's awesome. Not bad.
9 slashing to that guy.
He drops. He's
Alright. Because I hit him, my speed increases by 30 more feet, so I'm going to end up over here.
Maven is impressed.
Yeah. And I will then speak the Wind Razor's command phrase and get 2 more strikes on this guy. That's a harassing unit.
Okay.
First one was the... I don't want it. Sorry. Okay. 1 to 4. 12?
12 does not hit, unfortunately.
Alright, second strike. 18.
That's a good one.
Alright. And 6 points of damage.
Hey, you cut his arm off, and you kind of caught part of his hip, so his pelvis sort of splits in half. Looks like he's going to have trouble walking from now on, that's for sure.
I was aiming for the humorous.
Oh my god.
All right. Haven, you're up. Zazros, you're on deck.
Okay. So.
We're surrounded.
Okay. There we go. I'm indeed surrounded. Okay. So I'm going to hit each of them in the face 1 time. The first one is 15 to hit.
That hits.
For 7 points of damage.
He bursts into dust.
Awesome. And then the second one will be 16 to hit.
That hits too.
And 7 more points of damage.
This one's a little tougher. This one kind of drops to one knee and then raises its eye. Its jaw unhinges and drops to the ground. Just kind of gets back up and stares down at you. It's a little taller than you are.
And because I have the mobile feat, I don't get attack of opportunity on me. So from there, lift 1 more time. I'll spend another key point to do Step of the Wind. And Tandy with a few tasks.
Okay. You know you now have 2 keys.
That's my turn.
Okie dokie. Zazros. Ori, I think you're muted.
Okay then. Alright, so let me check some things here. Alright, well, I'm just going to have to soak it. I'm going to take the dash action,
Okay.
which is going to get me here to here. And then my remaining 50 feet would get me. Okay. Going to get me here.
Okay.
Knowing that I just took 2 attacks of opportunity from those 2 goons there.
One was a 17. The other is a no, that's a 16. That's a 19. And this guy right here, I have to roll wisdom for him because you passed right through him, and I have to roll wisdom for these 2 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So the first guy you just passed, you got a natural 2.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 guys got a 3 to a 2 and a 12 to an 11. So they all failed.
Uh-huh. That's for the Spirit Guardians?
Oh yeah.
Let me
All 3 of
roll
them
that.
entered as you passed through.
6 full, 3 half.
Okay. As soon as you passed, even it swats at you, and just as it goes to hit, your guardians attack its arm and just disintegrate it, and it just clumsily falls to the ground and backwards into some water.
Okay.
The one you landed
before.
here, he also drops, and you notice that he has what looks like a gold key around his neck. Just as he disintegrates, it clatters to the ground amidst a pile of bones.
Okay. Alright, I still have 5 feet of movement. So where this guy just crumbled, I'm going to move right over to here, and I'm going to give that gold key to Yuno.
Okay, you now have a silver, bronze, and gold key. Okie dokie, I think that's it, right?
Yeah, well, and then the other dude on the other side of Yuno, did he make his wisdom save?
Yeah, well, no, he didn't make it, but he didn't die either.
Okay, cool.
He's still up.
Okay.
You get the feeling that these skeletons are made from like different bones of different creatures. Some of them are skinny and small and frail. Some of them are a little bigger. All right, Oza with Yuno up next.
Alright. How long does Primal Savagery last? It's instantaneous. I'm gonna cast it again and bat this guy right in his face.
All right.
That's a 19 plus. Hang on, is it? I think it's just plus my spell modifier, so 25 to hit.
Wow, yeah, you definitely hit him.
So that's a D10. Oh no, it's 2D10. So that's 10, 18 points of damage.
Yeah, you kind of bash into this thing's chest like a gorilla and just sunder it to dust. And where your fists stand is just barely dangling on your herbal knuckle a thin chain with what looks like a ruby. Basically beat this skeleton around the key into dust.
I will pick up the key.
Now have a ruby key.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have bonus action and movement.
For a bonus action, I will move my spiritual weapon to over here
Okay, no.
and attack this guy.
Right.
So that's a 16 plus 6, so a 22.
Oh yeah.
Well, really well.
Damage.
Is that a D8? I think it's a D8. It is. That is 5 points of radiant damage.
All
Right
right.
on his face.
Right on his face. He was already injured from when Maven hit him, so he collapses into dust.
Woohoo!
He's not dead. It does double damage. Oh, never mind. He's not. do double damage, but it doesn't matter because he's dead.
Bless you.
I have a question. Primal Savagery, does that do bludgeoning damage?
No, I think it just does acid damage.
Okay.
Yeah, it just says make a melee spell attack against one creature within 5 feet. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 acid damage.
Fair enough.
But it's like I'm scratching him and it does acid.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
Super poison claw attack.
Yeah.
Alright. Would you like to use your movement?
Well, can I get over there? I don't think so. Yeah, I can get over here. I will go over here.
You're gonna jump over the gap?
Oh. How much movement would that take?
Well, you can jump a standing jump. You can jump half your speed.
Okay.
Standing jump. And it just uses up however much of that is movement.
Okay, so then... Thank you. Alright. So I will jump across here, and then how much... Alright, I can get back over there. Okay.
Alright. You know you are up. What does the wizard do?
I want to look at this object in front of me and see if there's keyholes in it.
There are not. It is a flat, or not a flat, it is a dome-shaped, smooth object that looks like it's made of ruby, and it's surrounded by what looks kind of like a filigreed crown fitted tightly around it.
Then I'm going to move over to the gate, and I want to see if there's any locks in it that these keys would fit.
Nope. The gate is solid, but you peer through the gate, and you see that there is some sort of magical barrier of wafting energy, and just behind that, a couple inches, you do see a large, flat stone or metal door with what look like little keyholes kind of scattered around its surface sporadically.
Alright, so I'm gonna move over here. Back here, and
Alright, so the skeleton on the other side of that button does get to swing at you from when you left, but it's only a 10.
Oh, that doesn't hit. I'm going to, as a bonus action, pull Koza 5 feet towards us.
Okay.
With my mind. And then I'm going to blast this dude with Firebolt.
Let it fly.
As a 21.
That definitely hits.
13 points of fire damage.
Yeah, you blast him to smithereens. But you start to notice a fresh round. Skeletons starting to form up all over the place. Just continuing their aggression across this weird cave swamp. They're starting to stumble and trip over each other, but they're mostly keeping to their little walkways. So what would you like to do for your action? At your firebolt?
Yeah, that was the action.
Gotcha. Alright. Baranor, you're up next. Gotcha. Baranor with Maven up on deck.
Yep. Alright. I'm going to move here. I can take 14.
Not good enough. Oh, wait, that hits. Sorry. Alright, that is enough to drop him. He falls. Another one right behind you stands up and begins advancing on all of you.
Okay.
They're all just kind of moving towards you slowly.
My second strike will be against them. That
13 hits too. All right. He's not down, but he is definitely hurt. You cut off a huge chunk of his chest. One of his arms drops, starts to kind of crawl along by its fingers along the ground.
Rather than move back, he gives
What kind was it? Do you remember?
It was either copper.
Yours was copper. So, you should now have a copper, bronze, silver, and gold key. Got that?
Yep. Right. Copper, silver, bronze,
and gold.
And gold.
Oak. David, you're up.
Okie dokie.
Why don't you run over and back? I mean, honestly, you can do it. You're fast enough. You can get the key from Kozo and come back.
15. Oh, I'm doing the wrong stuff. There we go.
You could honestly, using 10 feet to get to it, you could leap all the way there. Jump over that bit of water. You're a monk.
I would like to do that. And everything and that and go too.
Alright, I'm gonna have Koza make a quick insight check that you get what she's doing.
Okay.
Come on, man. You got this. Come on.
What'd you say?
Say, come on, man. You got this. You know me.
You just all of a sudden see the monk just sprint in your direction. You're not exactly sure why.
A 13.
13, yeah. She just kind of like grabs the key right out of your hand. Before you have a chance to go, hey, she's gone. It's like,
This is how you know.
Like they have to watch charging the castle in Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
yeah.
Hey!
Hey.
Hey.
Right, you now have a ruby ring in your inventory.
Key.
We thought it was a key. Is it a ring?
Or, sorry, ruby key, yes, sorry.
I'm going
Looking at
to
ruby
tap
rings
the
on
key.
Etsy. You're gonna do what now?
I'm going to tap the key. Try to tap the key on the top of this thing.
Tink, tink, tink. Makes a little tinking noise. However, you do notice that it depresses slightly.
Oh, you made it sad.
I'd like to check this using either investigation or arcana to determine how to make it work with the key that I have.
Okay. Yeah, roll it and apply whichever one's higher, I guess. Just tell me which one it is.
Arcana's 21.
Okay. This is definitely some kind of button that needs to be pressed, but you're pretty sure that it won't really react to anything physical. And with a 21, I'll say you definitely get the feeling that it's a very specific method to push this button. And you get the feeling it's not anything like throw a firebolt at it. And you don't see a keyhole anywhere on this device.
I'd like to try to use Mage Hand to push the top down.
Hold on here. You can do that on your turn, because it's not actually, I don't think it's your turn, is it? No.
Oh.
Still at the end of Maven's turn. That's what, I'll say that's what you discern from your quick thinking about this device, is that. But it is Sazeros's turn.
My turn. I am staying put. I am taking the dodge action
Okay.
And just getting ready to face the onslaught. And for my bonus action, I'm going to go, you got any grand tricks up your sleeve? And I know you do. Now would be a good time to whip that bad boy out. And I'm going to give, another round of another bark inspiration. Since the previous one is timed out.
Okay. Koza, it is your turn.
Okay, I will continue to make my way over to everybody else.
Alright.
Alright,
You pass
let's...
by this cage. You just see like skeleton arms reaching through the bars at you.
Let me see, what does this spell do?
What does this button do? Click.
Hang on. Where did it go? Where did it go? There it is. Okay. I am going to cast Shield of Faith on
Okay.
and it gives him, for the next 10 minutes, he has a +2 to his AC.
Right on. You have to be close to him or touch him the whole time or anything?
I don't think so.
Hands free.
Yeah.
Noke. Alright,
It actually has
you're
a
up.
range of 60 feet.
I'm going to have Mage Hand grab the ruby key and try to push down on the top of this thing.
Okay, the mage hand grabs the key, comes in contact trying to mush this key into it, and the key there's nothing to fit it to, and it doesn't like melt into the button, but the mage hand's fingertips touching the top of the ruby button cause it to depress down into the setting. And you hear this clink, clink, clink. You look behind you, and the gate opens to reveal a door with several, maybe 5, 6, something like that, keyholes scattered all around in no particular order or pattern. They're just kind of scattered all over the door itself.
I'm gonna head towards the door. And I'm looking at the locks. Do I notice any like colorations around them or anything that would indicate which one goes?
I'll let you
What?
use your bonus action to do investigation.
Great. Close enough.
That's gonna be a 26.
26. You do notice that the blue misty barrier has dissipated, and it seems like all of the keyholes have an element of metal or color around the keyhole itself, almost like a frame around the keyhole. Like one of them looks like it has is made of gold, another one maybe looks like it's made of silver. So you're getting the feeling that these keyholes are associated with maybe like materials of like of similar, make. Right. I'm guessing you don't want to use any movement.
Well, I did to move into the room.
Yeah.
But unless I can use my movement to start fitting keys and locks, that's about
You can start. I'll give you one. Which one do you want to try to insert?
Do I see one that looks like the gold key would go in there?
You see a keyhole surrounded in something that looks like gold.
I'm gonna put the key in there and turn.
All right, you turn it, you hear a click, and the key melts and disappears into that keyhole. And the keyhole shoots out with spiderwebs of gold Dainne rock that kind of sporadically scatter across the surface of the stone door. However, as you are turning this key, like you kind of did this all really fast. You opened the door, the gate swung open, you ran over there, you grabbed the gold key, you shoved it in the lock, and as you turn it, you hear
Oh no.
And from the pile of bones sprouts what looks like a long leg bone of some kind that snaps upright into place. And just to the other side of it, this is all happening over here, by the way, another set of long bones, several long bones snap into place to where you see long digits, almost like huge long claws of some kind. They start to straighten out, and these giant spinal vertebrae start to all pop into place, with a large reptilian skull snaps into place at the front of it.
Oh, we all say in unison. Oh shit!
Fuck.
This large dragon skeleton emerges from the pile and starts to starts to sprint in your direction. It cannot fly. It looks like its wings are without any kind of material between the webbing, but it definitely hurtles in your direction. It got really good. It got an 18. Okie dokie.
Alright.
He's gonna get to do something since he rolled so high, and you see his eyes start to glow yellow, and you notice that his rib cage is like full of little bone fragments, and he rears his head back, and just belches this cone of bone fragments all towards you, and he is. Can he hit you from there? Why, yes, he can. He catches all four of you. I need all four of you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Is this an AoE or ranged spell attack?
This is a breath weapon.
Breath weapon.
Oh, great.
Dex save.
That's a 13.
13.
Dang it.
Oof. Okay, half is 18. Half is 18.
Oh boy.
All right. Did you roll? Are you good?
What's the DC?
18.
DC is 16.
I failed.
Right.
What was half again?
Half was 18.
Alright, I'm down.
All right. Sazaros, your essence, your ghostly essence, blinks out of existence, and you all notice that Sazaros' form has disappeared.
Oh no.
Goodbye, Sazaros.
Toodles.
All right. So anybody that didn't beat a Dex save DC 16, take 36 points of bludgeoning damage, and half on 18 on half.
You said 36?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm out too.
Blink.
Sorry,
All right. Barano, you're up. What was that? You're cutting out, bud.
I don't know what's up with my mic today. I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on myself at second level.
Okay.
9 points. Okay.
All
No, you're too good. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I have any wounds. No, you know what?
Go ahead.
That didn't just. That's good.
Now speak into your mic. You keep cutting out.
I Hunter's marked the thing.
Okay.
That's my turn.
All right. Helps if you shout. Yell real loud.
Damn cheap ass headset.
I heard that.
It was like
It's
$50.
gonna use After your turn, it's going to use a legendary action and use a wing attack, which makes it up to half its flying speed. So it's going to take off into the air and immediately fall, boom, right here. Yeah, it's going to stop right there as it cannot fly. David, what would you like to do?
Okay. Oh. How far away is this? Go on, hold. Okay, so. Having the hardest time moving the Roll20 map today. It's like not going anywhere.
Because Roll20 sucks.
It does apparently, especially when you said. Okay. Okay. I can't get quite to the dragon because of the guy standing directly. So I will move here. Punch the one in front of me. Okay, so 28 hit.
28 hits. Holy shit.
8 points of damage.
Yeah, you run, and as you're running, you just bash forward and punch right through this thing, and end up, I'll give it to you, you end up face to face with the dragon.
Okay. Oh.
Just kind of punched and ran at the same time right through the skeleton's body.
Okay, and I'll get right up to the dragon, and I guess I'm gonna just try to hit the dragon in the face.
So here, right here, is actually the front of its effective block. He's a huge creature, so he's 3x3, or I should say 15x15. So if you do want to hit him, you got to be right here. Just for reference. That's why that square is there, by the way.
Oh, okay, cool.
All else fails, punch the dragon in the face.
I'm gonna just punch the dragon in whatever part of the dragon that I can punch in the face.
I mean, a straight uppercut under its chin is perfectly within your reach.
22? Does 22 hit?
Oh yeah, it does.
Ooh, full damage. 12 damage.
12 damage. Nice. Yeah, bam! You smack it to the point where you kind of cause it to like clap its mouth shut. You can hear a couple of teeth kind of crack and break, and it just kind of shakes its head and looks right at you like it's ready to roar. As you're looking at it, you notice embedded in its forehead is what looks like a diamond-shaped key. Or excuse me, a diamond key made of diamond. Embedded right in its forehead.
I'm definitely gonna spend the key point and hit it 2 more times.
Okay.
Does dirty 20 hit?
Yes it does.
So 8 points of damage.
Alright.
19?
19 does not.
Okay. Yep, and then that's my turn.
Okie doke. It is the dragon's turn. Now having a fresh target within its sights, it looks right at you and goes, ah! It goes to bite you right in half. It's just, I mean, it just tries to swallow you. You hit it like twice right in its face. That is a natural 20.
Shit. Yeah.
And it's also going to swipe at you with its claws. And that's only an 8. Or excuse me, that's a 13.
Still does not hit.
Okay. But he hits you for a bite. Or 8 points of piercing damage.
Oh.
That's gonna be his turn. Oh wait, I'm gonna roll to see if he gets his breath. Nope. Does not. Alright, you're up.
Could I have yelled about that?
I'm going to.
What would you like to say?
I was like, there's a diamond key in the dragon's face.
Alright. We'll say you heard that,
I'm going to. I'm going to try shoving as many of the other keys into the holes as I can.
All right, I will give you 2 keys per action. So you've got 2 in there, or 1 in there, and then you shove 2 more. So you can choose, I don't care which one you choose, the copper, the bronze, whatever. So you've got 2 more keys. You've got 3
copper
more
and
keyholes
bronze.
and 2 more. Okay. Yeah, they similarly melt and spread out these tendrils of copper and bronze all throughout, and you're starting to see the stone door is starting to falter with each of these crack intrusions, like these veins of metal is weakening, and you're starting to see dust start to erupt from the edges. And there's 3 more keyholes, and you have 2 keys in your hand still.
As a bonus action, I use Mage Hand to shove a key into the hole.
All right, yeah. You take one of the last keys, maybe the silver one, and shove that in there, and turn it, and it melts in and spreads out more tendrils. Now, at this point, the door is getting to the point where it's covered in this web-like pattern of different metals, and you're starting to actually see little holes starting to form where some of the stone is eroded away. It's like there's 1 more keyhole, or a key that you have, and another key at the very top of the door.
Okay.
All right. Aranor.
Alright, switch to the longbow. Let's take some shots at this. $27 to hit.
That hits.
And 5 for the punch mark. So 10 on that one. 10 total
right.
damage. Second shot. 18, I think we said didn't hit. Okay.
Just kind of glances off the dragon's rib cage, but the first one sticks hard right in its side. You hear it. Doesn't seem to react too badly to the pain.
Back up a step and then end my turn.
All right. Avon, you're up again.
I know everyone is surprised by this, but I'm just going to keep saying it today.
You gotta get a critical. Get a critical.
Oh, I really
Those
want
gloves
to.
popping.
15 doesn't hit.
Nope.
God, and now I got 16. I'm real mad.
All right. He is going to attempt to bite you again.
Oh, damn it.
Ooh, that's not that great. That's an 18.
Leaves it. Yep, that is my AC.
Okay. And then a 15 on one of the other slashes, and a 17 on the other, which those I believe both miss.
Yep, both of them.
That bite is going to cost you 10 points of piercing damage.
Okay. No problem.
All right. It's going to use its wing attack, and it's going to. I need you to make a dex saving throw, and it's going to use its speed to pop over here.
Oh shit.
God damn it, 13.
Yeah, you're prone. And you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground hard. Tramples over you.
I'm going to use revenge on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only take 1.
All right. You do notice, however, when it lands, that its wing touches the water, and basically it's glued to the side of the bank, and as well as its tail right here touches the water. So it's basically just it's landed, but it kind of fused itself into place. Let me see here. I don't. Yeah, you do. You get an opportunity of attack.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely would. That's how wing attacks work. They're just cool.
23, I guess we get it now. Awesome.
23?
Yeah, 23 to hit.
If that hits.
10 points of damage.
Alright. Yeah, you just kind of smack smacking on its hindquarters on its way out. And does it get its breath weapon? No. All right. You know you're next.
I'm gonna cast Fireball.
Okay.
And I'm gonna center it here. So it shouldn't hit Maven or anything like that. And it needs to make a dex save.
It probably failed, but it's going to choose to pass. So you go ahead and roll your damage.
You can pass even with its wings stuck?
Huh?
You said its wings stuck in the
Got another
What?
thing?
And probably another legendary action.
29
that's just
points of fire damage.
resistance. All right. It used a legendary resistance, not an action to do. 29.
So it takes half,
15,
so 15.
or 14. All right. Yeah, you blast its wing off that was stuck in the water. It just blasts its whole wing off, and the rest of its body is charred, and like there's little flames licking up the sides. So now there's this nightmarish dragon skeleton on fire.
I'm gonna try to shove it too with my mind.
Okay. That is a 15 for strength. Real
It
low.
fails. I push it 5 feet.
Okay. Bloop. You kind of shove its legs further into the water, so now its feet are like fused. So now it's almost like its entire back half is sort of stuck in the water. All right, Baranor, you're up.
21 hit.
21 hits.
So what's damage plus what's damage 7. Oh, that was a Windows, but it was it would have been a
Okay.
that one misses.
All right. Yeah, you kind of chip off part of its snout, where like 4 or 5 of its teeth is sheared off as you sort of slice into this thing's skull. You notice the little diamond key kind of wiggles slightly. It's almost like it's attached at the top, but not at the bottom anymore. Anything else?
That's the end of my turn.
Okay. Aben, you're up.
Okie dokie.
It would use its tail attack, but nobody is near it.
Let's go change. So right there. I'm gonna start hitting it again. I know. Okay. 13 does not hit.
Nope.
Either does 11. Jesus Christ.
You're just kind of hitting in its backside, and its backside's starting to like creep with that crystalline stone, and you're just hitting rock.
Ooh, close. Okay, I'm gonna spend the key point, do flurry of blows, try it 2 more times. Well, another 13,
Just can't
and
see
another
it.
11. And another
man.
11. Having a great day.
Oh, no.
Great day.
Just can't seem to get any purchase on this thing as its body is starting to become like it's made out of stone itself. All right, this thing is going to, unless you got something else you want to do.
Oh, that was it, thank you.
No. He's going to, yeah, he's going to succeed his strength save. He is going to, you see it dig his claws into the stone and pull himself forward. And just when you think his tail and his legs are going to break free from the stone, his spine right above his hips detaches and he crawls forward on just his hands. You see his useless back half stuck in the water while the front of him crawls over here. And he's going to trample straight over Baranor and take a bite at Yuno, which is a 19.
I cast shield, and he misses.
All right, and he's going to swipe at you with his claw, which is a 22, and that still counts against your shield, right?
Yes.
His third attack is he's gonna swipe after Baranor. That's gonna be a natural 19 plus that is 24.
It just barely hits.
Well, that's 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Still up.
All right, that's gonna end his turn, and it is Yuno's turn.
I'm just gonna do Toll the Dead on him.
Okay. That is a 15.
He fails. And is gonna take... Oh, no, wait, he's damaged. Hold on, I gotta roll 2d12, not... He's gonna take 18 points of necrotic damage.
All right, this ethereal bell forms over his head, and as it goes to ring, how do you want to do this?
Yeah.
I want to explode him into pieces.
Yeah, this bluish lion-capped bell, kind of a Chinese style, real tall and cylindrical, like, just kind of rings with his... And you see the dragon just shake and shudder, and little cracks form in all of its bones, and it just blasts outward as Yuno's hand is extended. The diamond key flips through the air and lands perfectly in your palm.
That was awesome.
It is dead, and the remaining skeletons in the room start to advance. One of them turns towards Maven and climbs on top of her. What would you like to do for your bonus action,
Just take a moment of
Not what I
self-reflection.
really can do. I'm gonna use Mage Hand to try to pull the key towards me.
Oh no, it landed perfectly in your hand as you were casting.
Oh, then I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna unlock the door.
Yep. As soon as you turn the key, the skeleton that was on top of Maven just sort of collapses into lifeless, useless bones, as does all the other skeletons in the room. They all just hit the ground and collapse. They don't even stay together. They just spread out and scatter on the ground. The door splits with another fresh spray of diamond material that causes the entire door to just kind of crumble away. You see Baranor and Maven, both of them, their forms start to just ethereally kind of wisp away and dematerialize into nothing. You stand now before a corridor on the outside of the door that leads towards a shining light hundreds of feet ahead of you down what looks like a tunnel.
I head towards the light.
At this point, your split consciousness deduces that any of your fellow competitors have fallen before reaching the center of the orb. And like a foot race, the ethereal forms of you and your fellow contestants reach, drawing ever, ever closer, ever reaching. And with each layer of the puzzle unraveled, you further yourself inside. You sneak a glance at the prince, but you do not find him where he was standing. And whipping your head around, you feel a surge of arcane energy as Prince Victor appears right beside you, pocketing what you recognize as the Rod of Planar Shift, the item that he stole from you, which you procured from Dias Mordrin's vault about a month and a half ago. He had somehow
How
used
close
this
is he?
device. He's right next to you.
Yuno's gonna turn and just cold cock him
All right.
in the mouth.
Make an unarmed strike.
22, natural 20, baby.
Yeah.
Right in the face.
Right in the face. Yeah, you turn around, and everything that you've been wanting to do to him, you just send straight into this punch, because you're not exactly sure if this is really Prince Victor or some illusion, or if this is like an ethereal form of him, and you're not really worried about
Doesn't
leaving
matter.
on a ghost. Yeah, and you cold cock him right in the face. He just takes a moment, and his eyes just blister white, like wide. He can't believe that just happened. He goes to grab your hand. He attempts to knock you prone. Go ahead and make a strength save.
17.
17, good, yeah. He tries to shove you down, and he's not able to push you down. You're able to kind of keep your footing. His hands wrestle with yours, the wispy nature of your two minds struggling for control, as you can at last see just over his shoulder the prize, illuminated by bright pale blue light. The ring, it's within your grasp. You can almost touch it. What do?
I'm gonna keep moving towards the ring.
All right, you sprint off. He gets his attack of opportunity. He tries to grab you. He grabs your feet. He pulls back on your robes and tackles you. And instead, he vaults himself towards the ring. As the two of you wrestle on the ghostly stone floor of this demi-plane, one rising as the other pulls them back down. First, you have the upper hand, then the prince, both of you making little purchase towards the ring until a blast of light and energy throw you both onto your backs and back into the chamber itself. Instantly, you find yourselves back in the Wellspring Chamber, surrounded by out-of-breath and kneeling fellow competitors, including Koza, including the prince. You all look up at the orb, and in its place, you find a pale, soft, petite hand grasping glowing object. Hovering over everyone, you see the smiling face of Lady Kethra.
Oh, shit. Oh, no.
God, I don't like her either.
We have our winner! The orb has been bested, and our puzzle has been solved. Our champion of the arcane and master of the unraveling for the 73rd Ellington Classic is none other than the Lady Kethra of Ryzazan. You sit in shock, your breath slowly returning. Sweat and rage billows out of you. Your gaze pierces the thick air and drills a hole across the wellspring over to the prince. He too seems disheveled, furious, and without his prize, he snarls at you. Without a word, snaps his fingers, straightens upright, fixes his collar, shoots you one last scowl, surrounded by several black guard, usher him through the gathering crowd and out of the chamber. Surrounding fanfare and contestants congratulate Kethra as she descends holding the ring of prismatic refraction, a sparkling and simple black ring that perfectly matches her aesthetic.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, what about me? You know, I just got phased out. I'm supposed to be in the audience.
Yeah, you, by the way, really didn't experience any of that. All you saw was the contestants slowly reaching forward, and one would get thrown backward. And at one point, Koza got thrown backward, and little by little, they float towards the middle until Kethra reached into it, and everything else detonated backwards.
Okay. But I've suffered no ill effect from the ordeal and the unraveling.
You feel fit as a fiddle. Blech.
Oh, goody.
She slips the ring onto her finger as the crowd swoons and looks on. You watch as she looks at each of you. magic and fire swirling in her eyes. She reaches towards you, and you see arcane energy start to form at her fingertips. And you watch as she casts a dazzling display of lights and sparkles, which quickly split into 2 smaller illusions, which then turn and split into 4 and 8. Smaller and fainter they go until disappearing into a cloud of arcane mist. The crowd erupts into dizzying laughter and applause as Kethra hops up and down, kind of clapping to herself a little, clutching her prize close to her chest with an ear-to-ear smile. As she winds through the crowd to a beaming Sir Luther, watching from the fringes, she stops and she greets Yuno and Koza, now gathering themselves at the outset of the wellspring. Mr. Yuno, Mr. Koza, did you see? I won!
Yes, congratulations, Lady Kethra.
Congratulations, my lady.
I'm so happy. But Mr. Yuno, may I ask you something?
Of course.
During the final test, when we were meant to race to the center, I felt something. A disturbance. Did you feel it too?
I was a little preoccupied.
What happened?
I was in a little bit of a tussle with the prince. We have some unfinished history going on.
She kind of shoots the prince a glance, kind of scowls at him a little. I am sorry. The prince does not seem like a good person. I am sorry.
That's the understatement of the century.
That's one word you can use as I come up behind him to
She kind of looks at the prince and looks back at Yuno. I am sorry that your hatred for each other, the contest. You are a very talented wizard, mystery. She just kind of puts a hand on your shoulder and just leaps right into Sir Luther's arms and shows him the ring, and he just kind of pats you all on the shoulder and gives you kind of a nod of respect, and the two of them just kind of wind through the crowd, gathering people as they go, and eventually they depart. It looks like she brought maybe 1 or 2 people with her, and some of the other contestants kind of stick around a little bit, dust themselves off, kind of follow the crowd as it makes its way out. And the last thing you see is her just holding the ring up, this little black band on her finger. And then she disappears amongst the crowd beyond the entrance to the chamber.
Okay.
There you all stand in the hall of the Officio Magistratum, having witnessed the winner of the Unraveling.
Well, not all of us.
And with that, we're going to end tonight's session.
Cool. Do I have any recollection of all of that, or is it just something?
Yeah, Maven and I weren't even there.
Yeah,
Maven wasn't there. No. You guys offered your ethereal forms outside of your consciousness or even permission.
Right. So we have no recollection of this at all.
Nope. As far as you know, it was a slow foot race, and you could see like little magical on the orb. You could see wedges of it, looking like they were unlocking or turning to liquid and melting away. And there was little effects on the orb itself, as you could see these people reaching ever closer and closer into the orb until what happened ended up happening.
Okay, cool. Whatever happened to us didn't happen to us.
Maven and I are just strolling around town.
And I tell you what, we'll get to what you were doing on the next session.
Sure, sounds good.
No problem. Cool.
Hopefully my headset issues will be done by then.
That's okay. It seems like whenever you're talking, like whenever you're made aware of it, I don't know if you're like adjusting your mic or whatever, but I know sometimes I have trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be the connection. I don't know. It's been real hot here. I don't know. It's this
computer's
headset.
hot?
Not just the computer. Like the headset has maybe just been in a sunny spot or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't that expensive, so.
Well, not for nothing, but I upgraded from my HyperX wired to a Bluetooth. Is it a Razer Barracuda?
All right.
And I love them. And apparently my sound effects get through. There's no more cutting out whenever I yell at something. So I recommend perhaps looking into the Razer line. And I love the Barracuda. I think it's really great. It's got a detachable mic, so you can use them as Bluetooth headphones if you want.
All right, I'll look.
Anyway, we are looking at the 13th of August for a reconvention date.
Sounds good.
And we will see what everybody else was up to during a bit of downtime. We'll count it as 1 day of downtime. Or everybody but Sazros and Yuno and Koza. And obviously the next day will be the wedding. So, moving right on along. Alright folks, we will see you in 2 weeks.
Bye. Good job.
Bye everybody.
Bye.
Boy.